Welcome back to another Sunday Live with your host, Mr. Bet on You, a gig live show that we do every single week. We're bringing it back. I got a special guest today, be on momentarily, few minutes, and we got some topics for you guys as well. And hope you guys had a good week. This week was pretty interesting in the gig world of myself, Mr. Bet on You, but then a lot of other things happen in the gig space of YouTubers. We have Dashing Trader will be with us. He's been on the channel a few times, probably half a dozen times or so, but it's been a while. So very, very grateful and gracious that he's going to be joining us here in a little while to talk about his deactivation and really just catching up with him, seeing what his plans are for the future, how he's handling it, and if you guys have questions, this could be a live show for that as well. Because last week we talked about deactivations. I was deactivated from Spark. I'll say hi to everybody in a minute. If you guys can hear me, first, if I can get a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Just to make sure the audio is going okay. And hit that thumbs up in the live stream as well. I see traders in the building. What's up? What's up? Antoine, what up? What up? I think veteran OG Platinum Dasher says, we hear you. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Okay. So last week we had some panel guests as well as myself talking about deactivations. Are these companies targeting content creators? Are they looking to really look at the TOS and say, hey, if you're violating it and we find out, you're gone? What's the reason for that? And we just had an organic conversation about the state of the gig economy, what we should be doing. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but also W-2 work. We're starting to see content creators. We're starting to see comments from gig workers talking about, I'm going back to a W-2. I got an interview. I'm looking for a W-2. Because the sustainability of what we do, for some, not all, for probably many actually, we're starting to see the sustainability it's lacking. It just is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people that can make it work for an extended period of time, I salute, kudos to those individuals. But when you are just a deactivation away, when you're a glitch away from not being able to use the app, when your saturation issues, when we are so dependent upon tips. Okay, I'm going to show you something real quick. And I'll say hi to everybody that's here. Hit that thumbs up so we can get this content out and have our trader on here momentarily. Let me show you my Instacart numbers this week. They're not great because we have multiple apps and we do things. But I'm going to show a breakdown because when we're so dependent upon tips and the kindness of individuals, this is what happens. And the companies know it. Okay. So a little bit of money, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. $426.43. Okay. $300 of that almost was from tips. Look at the percentage of tips versus base pay. Now that's going to be common for most apps and for most of you if you're doing apps like DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats. That's what it's going to be. Most of your money is going to come from tips. But when that is going down, customer over customer, they're tipping less because of tip fatigue. It's the sustainability of it is not there like it used to be. So what do? Do we go back to a W-2? Do we try something else? Do we try a different hustle? What's the next wave? I had a video coming out today challenging you guys. What's the trend? We need to be 6 months to a year ahead of where we are now. And we need to get on that next trend, the next app, the next hustle, whatever it is, the next thing, so that we're not too far behind, right? So, all right, let me go ahead and see who's here and say hi to everybody real quick before we bring our boy Trader on. I see Antoine, April, RT, the brand, Tick for Tat with Herman Jones, Maverick One, Veteran OG Platinum Dasher. I see Jody, always a pleasure to see you. Noah, what's up, man? I see DoorDash Driver Mama, always a pleasure. Hey, Pedro, and all fellow gig workers. Yes, it is Sunday, second week in a row. We're trying to bring these Sunday nights back. I appreciate y'all. It's been a minute, but it feels good. Nana of 5. How you doing, Nana of 5? I'm assuming you're a grandma. Harry, I see Handsome Hustler. What up, man? How you doing? Thomas, always a pleasure. Appreciate you being a channel member, and special thanks to all the channel members out there. Once again, Noah, I see Spanky, Junebug. How you doing? How you doing? The gig lifestyle, Pedro. I have left the gig economy and now have a W-2 work at Southwest Airlines. Appreciate the video grind, Pedro. RCK, appreciate that. Jamal, Jen, 1978, PPP. I think I got all, and Bargain Holic. I think I got all of the shout outs there. Appreciate y'all. If you're here, drop your market in the chat. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and put up a comment that I just saw as a little bit of a segue because Trader put out a video, I believe yesterday, talking about, or maybe the other day. He's done a couple. 2 days ago was a deactivation video, I believe. And yesterday he's talking about possibly going back to a W-2. And in his video, he took it like a chant. He knew, he knew what it was. And I'll have you guys, he can explain for himself if he wants to, maybe what happened, what to look out for, because he's not alone in why he got deactivated. Thousands and tens of thousands of people do the same thing that he did. Some get caught, some don't. It's risk versus reward. It's the game that we play, right? For whatever reason, it is what it is. But the W-2 thing, I'm going to put this comment up real quick because this is something I think we're going to see a trend of people going back. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? It was a guy talking about Southwest Airlines. Here it is right here. The gig lifestyle. I'll read it one more time. Pedro, I have left the gig economy and now have a W-2 work at Southwest Airlines. Something wrong with that. I think sometimes we feel like we're defeated if we leave. Oh my God, I like my freedom and flexibility. I don't want a name tag. I don't want a uniform. I don't want a boss. I don't want a schedule. I don't want to hit an alarm clock. It's not really that different. Most of us that are doing gig work, you have a schedule. You're probably working similar hours. You got to set an alarm to wake up if you're working in the morning. Like the boss is the customer. You can get fired or deactivated. Really, there's no difference. Getting fired from a job because they caught you sleeping in the break room is no different than getting deactivated from an app for whatever reason. It's terms of service versus policy or employee handbook guidelines. So the similarities can be there, but going back to a W-2 is not an L, right? But for some, I understand why you might feel that way. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Trader up in just a second here. Let me go ahead and get this one here. I see New Mexico in the house, Mississippi in the house, Minnesota. April's always rocking California. Appreciate that. Don Lou, how you doing? Let's go ahead and bring Trader up. Hit that thumbs up for our special guest. Let's go ahead and bring him up right now. I think he's in his studio chilling.
I'm
Trader,
chilling, bro. I'm
what's up,
chilling.
man?
What's up, brother? How we doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let me see. Let me try something here because I want to see if I can get the
What's up, chat?
screen. What do you think, Trey? Does
Okay.
that look better? Can you see it, or do you think we should go that
Yeah.
profile? Which
I like.
one?
Hey, either way, I like it. Both of them work good. I mean, if you want to pin comments at the bottom as we go, either way works.
Okay,
Looks
we'll do.
good
We'll,
both
we'll rock
ways.
with this one for now. So what's up, man? I mean, we've been talking the last few weeks. I'm glad we were able to catch up. Obviously, you got a lot going on with the apps. I got things going on. I just wanted to chop it up with you. I appreciate you coming on, extending the
Absolutely.
olive branch, and tell the people what's going on because maybe most of them that are here they probably watch you already. But what
Right.
happened? How you feeling about it? What's the next step for you? What are you thinking about? Get the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me on. Like you said, I've been on plenty of times, but it's been a while, and I appreciate you having me on.
Anytime.
And also, shout out to the chat. I see we got a lot of folks up in here, a lot of OG people that be on my channel. So I definitely appreciate y'all showing up for the conversation. And yeah, so starting from the beginning, um, I've been doing Spark for about 3 years, right? And throughout the 3 years, I've been having my ups and downs with the app, as many of us have. And this whole time that I've been doing Spark, I've been using my baby mama's account, which is the mother of my children.
Shout out
That's
to her. Shout out to her.
shout out to her. That's against the terms of service, and it's not something that I disclosed. It's not something that I openly talked about, but that was the situation. And when the deactivation happened, I felt like it was just appropriate that I just let the community know, because no matter how I feel about the situation and what I got going on, it's my responsibility to not only, if you want to say quote unquote, own up to what I was doing, but look out for the rest of the community. Because if I'm doing it's got to be others out there that this is their way of making money. And me and you have had these conversations. You've been to my zone and I've worked your zone. We know how good that app can be.
Yeah.
And let's be real, it can be your money making app, the way you pay your bills. So once the deactivation came, and it was something that I knew was coming, because for one, I'm always up to date with what's happening on the Spark Driver Reddit. any Spark drivers out there, make sure you keep your ear to the streets when it comes to the Spark driver Reddit, because that can be a very crucial resource to know what's coming down the pipeline, so to speak. So I kept my ear to the streets. And once I saw that profile picture being added, I was like, you know what? It's a matter of time. I'm already using my baby mama account. It's a matter of time before either a customer report me or associate report me. So you got to be looking at that as not as a possibility, but it's almost a guarantee, you know. And the best thing to do is just plan for it and move forward. But not only past that, let me see if I can turn this microphone up a little bit.
I just turned yours up on my end. I think it might be better. I'm gonna ask the chat.
Is that better?
I'm gonna ask them real quick. Yeah, it was low. I think it was my end. Yep, louder now. Okay, audio. I
It's
think we're
louder
good.
now.
I think we're good. Yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. So basically, this whole time I'm knowing I'm using my baby mama account, and there is a possibility for deactivation. So rather than hope and pray that it never happened, my best bet is to go ahead and plan for it. And planning for it means doing whatever you got to do to keep yourself making the money the same way you was, or potentially consider going back to a W-2. So it's not something that surprised me. It's not something that I was like, I'm finna lose any sleep over either. But at the same time, I always knew it was potentially coming down the pipeline, if not sooner or later.
Let me ask you a question. How did you handle? Because at least here in St. Louis, and it's basically the same market, right?
Basically,
How did you handle when they started doing a lot more facial recognitions with the pharmacy ones? I have to do a facial recognition twice on those. Like, how did you? Now that you're not on the app, how did you handle that?
Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to those pharmacy orders, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the video that I just posted on my channel 4 hours ago. It is currently getting a little bit of traction, but it specifically references those pharmacy orders. You want to be careful on those. This is to all my Spark drivers in the chat right now. But to answer that question, basically, I don't do pharmacy orders. I don't recommend pharmacy. Okay. I don't do them. I don't recommend anybody that has a legitimate Spark account do them, because it's just a lot. Like you said, you got to verify before and after. And
see, I did them. I would do them, and I didn't mind. They didn't always pay great, but sometimes I would do them. I didn't have issues necessarily, but I understand why you having the account that you had reluctancies there. I mean, I get it.
And I understand, like, if you get an order that makes sense for you and it's a pharmacy order and it's a quick run, why not take it the same you would do on a Roadie or another similar app? So I do get that. But like to answer your question, like you said, you got to avoid those. And in the last 3 weeks with the new update, they started doing the same thing for the alcohol orders too. So in the past, it wasn't like that. And I made stupid money on alcohol orders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, since that update 3 weeks ago, it's just like pharmacy orders. So once I saw that happen, I already knew. I was like, oh yeah, Spark is about to be done, because not only the decline in pay over the last year and a half, the oversaturation. I mean, but that just comes with the game, though. No matter what app you on, the more people find out that it's paying good, it's gonna inevitably become oversaturated at some point. But those alcohol orders triggered the same thing in the algorithm as the pharmacy orders. And once I knew that was happening, I'm like, oh yeah, the writing on the wall. So for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I was in a situation where I no longer had access to alcohol orders. I was only doing curbside grocery orders. And
so
if I saw it said alcohol,
slow burn for you, wasn't it? Like,
it's crazy. But that's exactly what it was, though. So ever since then, I knew. I was like, okay, it's finna happen, and it is what it is, because at the end of the day, I know that I'm using the app the wrong way. Well, Trader, why don't you have your own Spark account? Well,
let's talk about that, because I saw people in the video I made yesterday talking about it. I saw, and even in your comment section, it's sometimes similar to mine. Like, we get almost equal parts love and hate. You know what I mean? People are like, why don't you have your own account? Or Pedro, why do you blame Walmart for your deactivation? And people are like, well, Trader's the only one taking it like a G. He's taking, he's responsible. And Pedro's not responsible. Like, you get all these comments, right? But like, so answer that question for the people. Like, why, if you want to, at least, I think you were going to talk about it, right? Like, why not have your own account? Like, is that, I think that people might have different reasons, but
No,
why
you
put yourself,
absolutely right about that.
in that position to lose your top earning app? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
No, absolutely. So to answer that question simply, but to still give an in-depth explanation, and hopefully, chat, let me know, is the volume coming in good? Because I want to make sure y'all getting all of this. I see Cheeky Chops in the building. I see Adventure. I see Real Talk with Roy. I see David. What's up, guys? So look, check this out. I We've had that Spark account since we were in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Remember when I hollered at you before I even moved back down here?
I do.
Right?
Yeah.
And all the stuff that was going on, and we don't got to get into it all, but you remember though.
Yep.
We had that Spark account. We got activated in Sioux Falls. It's a way smaller town. It's a lot less going on. It's not a St. Louis. It would take 4 or 5 Sioux Falls, South Dakota to make up a St. Louis. And that's not even including my region over here in Illinois, because we count the whole St. Louis region as everything from here to the east side and all the way out to Raleigh sometimes. But in Sioux Falls is different. It was so much easier to get on out there. We come down here and it's just as simple as moving over to a different zone. So I learned that when I got down here, it's hard to get on in this zone. And you ain't gonna. It's a lot of folks that's approach me and ask me for a referral code, trying to get on Spark in this zone, and it's just full. And that could be because the videos that me and you make, and we got it full on DoorDash, and everybody moved over to other apps. It could be because Spark just the best paying app, but it really don't matter what the reason is. The point is the zone been full ever since we moved down here. So it'll be a
You took
situation.
what you had where you were at in Idaho, and
Yeah, and
you were
South
able to
Dakota.
change
Yeah.
your, or South Dakota. I'm sorry. You were able to, in the app, to just change the zone to St. Louis.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So there was
Now,
never
okay,
a
let me ask
situation.
you a question. Will you try to get just another Spark account with a different name and all? Like, have you thought about that, or you're not going
No,
to do that?
no, 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 no. So for me, and I don't recommend doing that either, even though I'm giving everybody my story about what I my experience is and what I go through. I don't recommend you using somebody else's account, even if they do live in the same household and y'all, living together and in a part. None of that matters. If you trying to take this seriously, it's best for you to do it the right way and get on in your own name. I'm just giving you my experience, and that's not a recommendation for anybody. So I'm not going to be looking for any additional accounts. Like I said, I was using my girl's account. You know what I'm saying? And even if you got a girl and she got us, I wouldn't recommend you doing that, because that's your own personal situation, and that's not a good thing to be trying to do
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So for
Ro-
me,
Our boy Roy's in here. Roy says, "Don't recommend people doing shady stuff."
shout
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I mean,
out to Roy.
Trader's saying he doesn't recommend people using other people's accounts.
Nah, I
And
don't.
my question to you was, would you get your own though? Not somebody else's, but
Would
you know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
my
Like,
own?
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to getting my own one day in the future,
Hmm.
but
But you might
logistically
have personal
speaking,
reasons. There's reasons that are personal to you that you don't want to have your own. Yeah.
and not even that. I mean, I wouldn't even say that, because at the end of the day, if the money's there to be made, I would be trying to go get it.
Yeah.
But the Spark Zone, in our zone, there are no openings. So would there be
Hmm.
a time where openings become available? Yeah, sure. But firsthand experience, I know from
Yeah.
others who have tried to get on in my zone, it's just full right now. They own the waiting list. So would I
Yeah.
be willing to sit by on the waiting list? Yeah, sure. But am I going to sit by on the waiting list with my fingers crossed, hoping I get a legitimate account after already being able to work 3 years with them? I feel like, you know what? I got my feel. I had my run. Move on to bigger and better things. Or even if that means going back to a W-2, which I'm not opposed to and which I'm actively looking into right
So
now,
let's
that's the
talk
next
about that.
move.
Let's talk about that, because I know you've spoken about it. I've talked about it a little bit. I was offered a job like 4 or 5 months ago that was pretty good, and I
Yeah.
I
So what
I
happened?
think I tinkered with the idea of going back. But let's talk about what you got in your mind now as far as the future of your earnings, taking care of your beautiful family. Like, that's important to you. You're a hustler. You'll always figure it out. But when you talk about possibly going back to a W-2, looking at opportunities, filling out applications, whatever, interviews, like, what does that look like for you? Like, is there any? Are you Are you reluctant to go back all the way? Will you keep doing this as a side hustle on the side, even if you have a W-2? Like, where do you see your money and your earnings really coming from? Let's say 6 months from now.
So where I'm pretty much at is I'm very reluctant. I got butterflies in my stomach just thinking about going back to a W-2, right?
Mm,
The thought of having a boss or having someone telling me when to clock in or clock out or go to the restroom or when you could take a lunch break, it worries me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie about it. But at the end of the day, the amount of worry that I have about that, it doesn't override the feeling I have to succeed and accomplish my goals and pay my bills and be a responsible adult figure for my family. So it's like I'm willing to go back and go through those things. And then even in spite of that, I'm also looking at the situation that I'm currently in where when I quit my W-2 job to pursue YouTube full time and go all in, I didn't have and I wasn't blessed with the things that I have now. So I kind of have to look at it as a situation where this was inevitable because there is no way in the world you can work under somebody else's name, regardless
mm,
of if that's your spouse or whatever. There's no long-term longevity to that at all. So you have to be objective and plan for it, but at the same time, when the unexpected does happen, not on your own time frame, you got to look at that as a blessing and an opportunity to go ahead and move forward with what the original plan is. So it's like I'm gonna go back to a W-2. I'm gonna make the same money I was making over there that way because that's a that's a guaranteed plan to get to where I need to be versus hoping and trying to do something else on the side or even something similar, which wouldn't be in my best interest in the
mm.
short term or the long term. And I'm just like, whatever fears I have of not being told what to do in the moment, that doesn't even matter when you look at the overall scheme of everything I just explained.
Yeah, no, I
That's
get it.
pretty
It's
much
almost
where I'm
like
at.
we don't always get what we want when we want it. I think you mentioned you were on Spark for 3 years, and you actually helped me a lot. We met up a couple times. You showed me some things in the Spark app when I only had not even 50 deliveries, right? And I learned
Mm-hmm.
some things from you and others, so I was super grateful for that. But it's almost like with all these apps, whether you get deactivated or the opportunities just dry up, or
Mm-hmm.
what, or you get bored with it, or like what it gets saturated. There's a shelf life for some of us, right?
Yeah, I
Because we
believe that.
just we realize that, hey, 2, 3, 4 years for most people, like the time runs out, the money runs out. Maybe it's time to try something different, W-2, another hustle, whatever it is, because we got kids,
Yeah,
we gotta make the bills, we gotta
that's right.
provide, and
That's right.
it's the irony of both of us getting deactivated, but for different reasons is
You're
kind of
right.
funny.
I
But
know. But it's
so let me
like,
ask you. So Spark told you a customer. Do you think it was a customer reporting that, because there's a profile pic, right or not? Like, do you think a
right.
customer reported? Do you think Walmart saw a video? Like, what do you think actually happened? Like, what do you think?
I'm like 99.9% sure I know exactly what happened. And
Hmm.
again, it goes back to having that extra level of due diligence, knowing that things are coming down the pipeline, knowing that there's this added potential, right? It was a associate. They got the new update on the handheld. It got the profile picture of the driver,
Right.
and they just simply able to hit report right then and there. They are pre-instructed not to confront the driver, not to let them know nothing, let them pick up the order as normal. They
Mm.
got a new training regimen inside Walmart, letting the curbside associates know this is exactly what needs to be done. And it's as simple as that. So shout out to
Mm.
Junebug for showing some love
Yeah.
over here on your
Thanks.
channel. That's my
Thanks.
Junebug is my number one moderator. I'm gonna put it to you that way.
Oh, nice, nice. I love
So
that.
that
Thanks,
means a
Junebug.
lot right there. Shout out to
Appreciate the
Junebug.
love. Appreciate the love. Junebug Lynn at 721. Appreciate that very much. I'll rent you up before the live's over.
I see
Appreciate
you,
the love.
Sheila.
I think so you had your girl's picture was on a profile because that's how you had to do the
Yeah,
facial ID, right?
yeah. And like I
Yeah,
said, over the
interesting.
last three
Okay.
years, it hadn't been any profile pictures on there. But
Yeah.
I mean, when I say I'm on the Spark Driver Reddit every single day, because I'm knowing that I need to be on top of every single update that come down the pipeline. Even if it's something that they testing out in California, I know, just like with DoorDash and Uber and all these apps, when they try something out somewhere else and it works, it's coming to my area, right? And when and the Spark Driver app, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It got a huge problem with illegal immigrants, illegal immigration workers using the app. And regardless of how you feel about the topic, that's something that's going on. And more than ever right now, they under pressure from the administration to do something about it. And this is one of the results of that. And at the end of the day, somebody like me who not using the app right will be caught in the crosshairs. And it ain't even really the crosshairs. I wasn't supposed to be using the app the way I was using it.
Yeah,
And
I think you bring up a
I
really
should
good
have been
point.
deactivated.
I think you bring up a great point. It reminds me of lives I had about a year ago, where I wasn't really doing Spark a year ago. Like I wasn't on the app yet. I had signed up, and it took me a while to get on. And I remember seeing other people talk about the illegal accounts, right? You know, the fraud that was going on, the bots, all, and I didn't know a lot about it, and I was very ignorant to it. I got to admit, I was very ignorant until I started working the app and learning and seeing things, right, in my marketplace and in other places.
Right.
And it's funny because Walmart, I think you just mentioned they were getting some pushback, they were getting pressure, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
a lot
And
of drivers,
they could have been put that picture in there years ago if they really
could've.
wanted to. You know, it's these companies, and I hate to interrupt you. I
No,
apologize
go ahead.
about
You're
that.
good. Go ahead.
But these companies are only going to do something when they forced to. So when Walmart was forced to really start pushing ID verification, really start making you verify before you pick up them pharmacy orders, making you verify the customer when you drop off that alcohol, even if you remove the alcohol part of the order and you shop for all the other, like all those little bitty things, because it's about liability, accountability, and I mean, look, I'm not even gonna lie, I've made videos regarding the Walmart Spark immigration situation and regarding fraudulent drivers dropping off stuff. And me myself, even though I'm using my girl account and we got children together, at the end of the day, that none of that really matter.
No, it
It's no
doesn't
different from me
because
dropping off an order under her account and or a illegal immigrant doing it. It's no difference for real, because
it's
it's
no
still
different.
somebody
It's
who's
no
not supposed to be
difference.
doing it.
You're right, and I
So
want to say this:
it's like,
we need to show Walmart a little love because we as a community asked for them to be
we did,
stricter on
we
facial
did,
ID and
we
have a
did.
safer app, and
Yep,
they're doing that. So
they
we
was.
have to commend them because at the end of
We
the day,
have to.
if I'm not home and my chick orders some groceries from Walmart, we don't have Walmart Plus, but let's say she does, and it
Mm-hmm.
says a female is going to show up to drop it off, and a female
Mm-hmm.
did my shopping, and I had some, and I'm texting this female, and then you show up to the door,
Yeah.
she might call me like, hey, there's this guy, I don't know who he is, he's got Walmart bags. So that's the issue, and
So
Walmart's trying to
exactly.
fix it. So I
So,
completely understand that. I mean, I get
and
it.
that's where it's like, yes, was I making my money doing my thing? Yes, not bothering nobody. Yes, but that don't matter. What matters is they doing the right thing. So I, what it boils down to is, and even though it may hurt to say it, if I want to do deliveries through that app, guess what? I gotta apply just like everybody else, and I gotta wait till the zone is open, and I gotta get on that way. Because other than that, that's it,
Yeah.
and I
So
can't be
you're
mad
gonna
at them for that.
so until you figure out a W-2 or whatever your next move is, I
Yeah,
think that's what you're leaning towards. Is it just going to be more Uber, more DoorDash? You're just going to fill in like with those apps? Or do you have Instacart? Like, what's
absolutely.
what's that look like for you?
I was saying earlier, I've been deactivated before on DoorDash, on Uber before, and I guess those are the only other two besides Walmart Spark now. But at the end of the day, exactly what you just said. If you lose access to one app, you give others more time. But I'm already looking further and way past that, because at the end of the day, I have an option to make equivalent money to what I was making on Walmart Spark. But the only kicker is what that looks like is a W-2. I was giving Walmart Spark 40 hours a week up in the Walmart parking lots, shopping them aisles, A1 through A29, whatever it is. I was in there at that curbside pickup, 42 pickup spots, but they only use 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
get
you
it.
got yours. Is your setup is crazy, man. Yeah,
So, you know, if I could spend 40 hours in a Walmart parking lot, I could spend 40 hours somewhere else making
absolutely,
that same
absolutely.
money. Because yes, could I give that same 40 hours to DoorDash or Grubhub or Roadie? Or I could, but in the best interest of my family, my two beautiful girls and my son that's about to be 3 in October, just go ahead and get a W-2. I'm 30, I'm 34. My birthday is in this month actually. I'm about to be 35. I still got a lot of years that I can put in some hard work at a W-2 job, maybe 20, 21 bucks an hour. And I'm finna go do that while I still can. But I'm looking at the bright side of things because 3 years ago when I started this channel, I didn't have 30,000 subscribers and a nice, you know,
Yeah,
foundation within the algorithm to where I can put out videos and do my thing. So I'm
yeah.
grateful. You see my hands? Look, I'm grateful.
I love that. I
Yes,
love that.
I lost access to my Spark, but I'm gonna use that same time I was given to Spark to do other things like a W-2 and still do my gig work on the side, which at the end of the day is really the best way to be in the gig economy. Do it part-time on side of your W-2.
I agree with that. I think you and I are very lucky, grateful, maybe is a better word, to have
I'm
the you
grateful.
to have the YouTube and to have the support
Yeah.
system that we have. Our girls with, like we
Yeah.
we we
Nah,
are
real
we are
shit.
very lucky with that.
Real shit, bro. I got my
Really
girl, I
lucky.
got my daughters, my son, I got my wonderful community who showed up for me on this live stream. I appreciate y'all. Like, I have no complaints. So yes, I might have lost access to Spark, but like I said in my video, it's somebody else out there in my zone who need that spot
And
on
they're gonna make some
Walmart
good
that I
money. Yeah,
had.
yeah.
And you know what? How dare I be mad about them having a legitimate spot that I wasn't even never supposed to have? Even if I was, I used it the wrong way, but at the end of the day, God took care of me to where I got this situation here to where it's gonna be all right.
Yes, sir. I love that. I'm gonna pop up some questions for you. Noah says, Trader, if you do go back to a W
That's my
two,
boy.
are you gonna do it short term or long term? What do you think about that?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't really thought about if I'm gonna do a short term or a long term. The way I'm looking at it right now is I just got to get back to a job. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back to a job and get some checks rolling in and get back used to it. If it turns out to be long term, great. But at the end of the day, I'm more than confident that I can do a full time job, which was Spark just recently, and keep doing what
Yeah.
I've been doing and growing my channel and engaging with my community. Because again, 2-3 years ago, I didn't have you guys. And now y'all got me and I got y'all. So that ain't never gonna change, regardless if
That's
I'm working a job or not.
It's a great attitude to have. We got Roy's got a question here. I'm gonna have some people pop some questions if they want. He says, legit question for Trader. Does he feel that the crazy stuff he has done on YouTube could hurt his chance at W-2 if they chose to check his social media as pre-hire check? That's a fair question. I think that's a pretty good question. What
That
do you
is
think
a
about
fair
that? What
question.
What do you think about that?
I mean, shit, at the end of the day, this how I feel about it, you know. I'm very calculated with how I move on these internet streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm very calculated. So if you look back and see how I move and what I've done, ain't nobody gonna know who I am unless I tell them who I am. Basically, is how they go.
Yeah, and I think we don't. We have to remember also we don't, our channels aren't huge. Each video ain't getting a
Mm-hmm.
million views to where it's going viral. Like, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
you're smarter than me. I mean, I use my
I'm not
government.
gonna say
I
that.
use
I'm
my
not gonna say
government
that.
name. I use my government name, but that's done on purpose. I knew that going in. Even from day one, my name was that's what it was on YouTube. So I'm more easily to be found, than you are. Like I know your real name, but I don't think
Right.
most of your audience does. And
Nobody
that's
does.
smart. You keep that close to the chest. I mean, I get it, but that's a fair question.
Because it's not about me. It's about I didn't see what happened out here on YouTube, man. People call
Yeah,
into your job and get you fired. I ain't got time for that.
yeah, crazy man, crazy.
It's simple.
It's crazy. I am 99.9% sure. In the same way you said 99.9 of how you got deactivated. Somebody, the customer, did not call Walmart saying I filmed our.
No,
No,
no.
didn't happen. Somebody
It
from
was.
YouTube called Walmart saying they were that customer
And look,
and
you
got
want to
me
know what's crazy? You know
deactivated.
that same YouTube message you got. You know that
Yeah,
same YouTube message you got about oh, your video was flagged for privacy. I got that same message before too. When somebody called in and got me deactivated before. One of the many times I've been deactivated, and then the video that they saw that pissed them off, right? That video got that same message, so I had to take the video down, put it back up, blur out a couple parts. Like the same thing happened to me, bro. So I feel what you're saying. Like somebody from YouTube reported you on Spark, and then they reported your video too. They
100%.
It's wild, bro. They do that.
Not 100%, 99.9, 99.9. But it is what it is.
But that's why I don't know if I told you in the text message, I was fucking using talk to text, but you're gonna be able to get your Spark account back through arbitration. You will, because when it's like my situation is clean cut and dry.
You think so?
I really do, bro, because when it comes to Spark reactivations, the one thing I'm sure of, bro, and mind you, this is somebody who been on the Spark driver Reddit and keeping track of other situations and what they've went through and they experience. Like, bro, if you go through the arbitration process and that right there don't get you reactivated, all you gotta do is threaten to sue them and they're gonna reactivate you. When it's not a just deactivation, when it's a situation like mine, it don't matter what you say. It stands. They got you.
Like, I'll say this. I know my role in the deactivation. Like, it is what it is. I'm not. My issue with Walmart is there is an issue clearly with their deactivation policy. And let me tell you why. I'll just be brief. So you get deactivated for them telling me a customer reported a privacy issue. Okay, cool. I get it. We're showing screenshots and we're pulling into driveways like a lot of content creators do it. I mean, I've watched some things in the last couple of weeks since I'm like, half of y'all do the same thing, but I'm not saying they should be deactivated. But my issue is there's a little bit of, okay, I picked up a Walmart from Uber Eats. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Uber Eats and Roadie also facilitate orders for Walmart Plus customers. So let's say that Walmart customer called on me saying he filmed my house. Okay. And he put me on YouTube, right? Let's say that happened. Okay. I could deliver to the same exact customer their same Walmart Plus grocery order with the Walmart bags, and they would look at me like, excuse me, I just got you I reported you and now you're back at my house. That is an issue within the app.
No, absolutely. At some level, Walmart is, see, the thing is, I think, and this is me, somebody who doesn't know anything about the legal system when it comes to liability or anything, but I think that Walmart, by default, by them trying to not have that liability by using the independent contractor clauses in the third-party Spark app, I think by them doing that, they create situations like this where they become cross-liable. Because how can you deactivate me from Spark, but I'm still out here delivering to that same customer on Uber? That's and now crazy. they thinking they didn't got me up out of here, and now you didn't put me in a situation that I shouldn't even. So it's like they almost trying to, oh, that's not our fault. We deactivated that driver.
Yeah,
but you know what? If he happened to still be picking up orders over here on Uber or Roadie, we don't got nothing to do with that. We're not liable.
But you know what? The thing is, they do have something to do with it because they're in business with another app that. And I know they might not have control over that app because it's a completely different company.
But they send the orders out.
That's not the customer's problem. And God forbid that customer, I roll up and I deliver, and then they're going to confront me because I'm not supposed to be there. Not that that's going to happen because that customer did not report me. It was somebody on YouTube. But it's a chink in the deactivation policy that needs to be fixed. So,
no, absolutely. Walmart, look, when it comes to this, look, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. And I'm not, like, again, mine was just, but just seeing what's happening with these deactivations in the last few recent weeks, it's really opened my eyes up. Walmart is open for some lawsuits and some liability because there's going to be a lot of disgruntled drivers out here who've been wrongly deactivated for identity verification, for falsely getting deactivated for a pharmacy order being open, but it wasn't really the medicine. It was just the Walmart packaging. Or my eggs were cracked, but how is that the driver's fault when it was a curbside pick? It's going to be a lot of situations where Walmart have to show up to court and answer some questions. And they building up a big case against themselves with all these different avenues of they third-party app not working right. And you see every day more and more of the Walmart vans trying to facilitate the pickups from the curbside, but it ain't enough because
No, they
it's
have to
still
have
so
they.
many drivers.
There's not enough. There's so many orders, and I know some markets have tested out the in-house delivery. They're paying the drivers like $25 an hour.
Oh, you've been seeing
Um,
that too?
yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you know about that? Have you seen that on Reddit? Like, what do you know about those markets trying that out?
So from what I understand, they have the Walmart associates who are hired specifically for the in-store delivery, or maybe they are transferred from another department, but they literally go there, set up the groceries inside the customer's house, and it's only in select markets too.
Mm,
Usually, if you have like a regional store in your location, I think for us it might be the one over on 141, but it's not at every single location, and I don't think they have it at full steam yet. But it's definitely something. It's just another tool for them to phase out needing those third-party apps to do the delivery. You got to imagine in 20, 30 years, Walmart want to be doing all of these deliveries on their own dime, under their own roof, with no third-party help. That's what I see. But
mm.
it's gonna take them a while to get there, that's for sure. Right
It'll,
now,
it'll
they
it'll
got
take a while.
everybody delivering their orders.
Yeah, it'll take way too long. I mean, DoorDash was on Walmart and then they got kicked or whatever. They lost that
Mm-hmm.
contract. Man, I did a lot of, not a lot, but some Walmart on DoorDash and they lost that. And then I believe that's kind of when Spark really
Yeah,
figured, that's when they used it to start really facilitating the Spark app or
you're
whatever.
right
But
about that.
um,
Yep, you're right about that.
it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I got to commend you though. You took it on the chin. You've always been somebody that's been accountable. If you've been deactivated or whatever happens, you knew it's kind of coming, and I think you prepare yourself for it. And then you just say, hey, I'm gonna make a video. It's gonna get some good views, and what I mean. And we're gonna educate and show people what to do, but also what not to do. And I think there's
Exactly.
there's there's value in that.
And
I
I
think that's
appreciate that,
that's
brother. Look, I learned from your example, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen,
no, don't
so
say that.
so look, I figured, look, I effed up, not really effed up, but I was doing what I had to do. So
Yeah,
when the shit start hitting the fan, it ain't no point in running and hiding from it. Own up to the people, let them know what happened. It ain't like I need to let everybody know in the moment that I'm using my baby mama account while I'm
right.
making the money to pay the bills. But if I get deactivated, hey, you know what I'm saying? No harm, no foul. I'll let y'all know what's going on. If nothing else, I might be able to save somebody else from getting deactivated. They
Mm.
might be able to say, hey, you know what? I was using my girl account too, just like Trader. I was just like his black ass. You know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop using the account. I'm gonna say, here, baby, you got to do it yourself. Something else, and I'm gonna go do, because that may save them from getting deactivated. And I say, you know what? That's worth me making the video right there.
Sure, and I think on a lot of these platforms, Instacart, DoorDash, Uber, more so back in the day, let's say a year or so ago, because the facial recognition on all of them now, even like Roadie app, every time I do a Roadie, it's facial recognition. The apps are trying to get better because they realize there was an issue, but there's still
Yeah.
ways around that, and there's a lot of accounts
Oh
out there.
yes. So look, you was asking me about how I got around the facial recognition, but I kind of like just answered the pharmacy order situation.
Hmm.
So when I was using Spark, I had to sign out every 2 days, sign back in, and do a manual face verification. Like, you know me, bro.
Mm.
I'm cold on these computers and shit, bro. Like, I knew how to make the app tweak. I say I'm gonna force this mug to do a face ID. So I used to force the Spark app every 3 days to do a face ID. Do it, I'd be good. Go out there, work 3-4 days, boom, do another one.
And do it
Yeah,
again.
bro, do it
Interesting. I
again.
didn't know. I didn't
I
know
did
it
that
was a
shit for 3 years,
possibility.
bro. I swear to God, I signed myself out, force sign back in, make that app tweak one time, make it do that face ID. Boom. All right, we ready to go. I swear to
Mm.
God. But you can't even do it no more, though. It don't matter. You got a picture in there now. But yeah, I give you all the sauce now. I don't play no game. But once I got deactivated, I say, look, it's time to go ahead and let the people know what's going on. Because if FDA out here using this baby mama account to make the money, it's got to be somebody else out there doing it
Oh,
to it. And it's only
there's
right.
there's a lot of people, man. For whatever reason, there's different reasons people need to earn. I mean, and
We
they need
all
to use
good?
somebody else's account. It is what it is.
Yeah, we good. Nah, straight up. So
All
I
right,
say, you know
I'm
what?
gonna. You got like another 15-20 minutes? What do you got on the
Brother,
time?
brother, brother, listen. I got all night. I told you I was gonna be here. I'm available to be up on the panel, answer some questions, engage with the
Cool.
people. This
I'll
is
I'm gonna put the link
this
in.
is
I'm gonna
this is
put the
my
link in.
full-time
So
job. Spark fired me.
You know what? Before we bring anybody that wants to come up and we can talk about whatever. If you got questions, that's fine. You know, but so let's say a few months from now you're doing W-2, and that's it. That's the plan. You
Mhm.
just said that. That's the goal. You got some years left. You can work. You're gonna do what you got to do. What do you do with the channel? Like, how does that? Do you still, if you got the apps on the side, are you still making gig content? Are you gonna shift it? Like, have you thought about that? Like, let's talk
I
about that
have
before we
thought
bring
about
people
that.
up.
I do want to talk about that. So I've been doing a lot of research about other YouTubers and the direction they take their channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we started in the gig economy, right? But I've learned so much since starting this channel that I truly believe that if I take my channel in any direction, that yes, will I have some people that fall off and don't care? Yes, that's gonna happen. But I truly believe I would probably be okay. Like if I decided to talk about the job that I start doing and the gig work I'm doing after work and what's going on, like with the family, maybe even like I think I really could go in a direction to where, as long as my audience care about watching my videos and seeing what I got going on in my day-to-day life, I probably could make that work.
Well,
Would it
you
be
got
a
you.
hard transition? Probably,
Sure,
but
sure. It might be a couple of months. YouTube revenue goes down. Like I've had that. Like it's part of the game. But your personality's so bright. You got the equipment. You know what I mean. You know what you're doing. So it's a
yeah.
maybe for you. It would just be a temporary hiccup but the long term game for you would probably be more beneficial down the line.
No,
Um,
for real though.
you know.
I think it's a possibility. I'm not saying I know what it's gonna look like 100%, but I'm definitely thinking about that. And
Yeah.
the good thing is, me deactivating doesn't really, in my opinion, hurt the channel because I wasn't making Spark videos like that. I actively tried not to because I didn't want to draw any extra attention to my situation on Spark. But shit, it seems like now I should because I just dropped the video and it seemed like it's doing pretty good. But at the end of
Love
the
it. Love
day,
it. Love
I,
it.
I can only talk about Spark for so long. So, I'm gonna still be doing gig economy stuff in the other apps. Still gonna be doing my live streams at the appropriate times that I have it. But let's be honest, if I have a W-2 and I'm working second shift from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., it's gonna be hard to do live streams every night at that prime time dinner time. So I've thought about those things too. But
Because
at the end of the
I feel like
day,
the live streams, you're like the live stream guy now. Like that's your thing. Like you've been pumping them live streams out like crazy, and
I
I know your
mean,
audience likes that. So
ever since I found out about them vertical live streams, it
yeah.
seems like it's just been something that's been really working for me. It's crazy to think about it. It's been over a year now that I've been doing them vertical live streams. Might not be every single day, but I think I've done like about 200 or so of them now, and I
Are you
really like them. I
serious? Oh
like,
wow,
yeah,
wow,
no, for real.
wow.
I like engaging with the community that I've built. So it's really enjoyable for me, and the people seem to like it. So it's cool for me.
That's a lot. We got somebody waiting in the background. I don't know if that's the real. Did you have beef with Marcus at some point? Right? Remember Marcus?
Marcus, man, I forgot about Marcus. Damn, how he
That's
doing?
Marcus is my boy. I don't know if that's him or not. I'm trying to see. He's got. Listen, I'm not going to bring him up. He's got to show his face at least to us before I bring him up. I got to say
I
that because
remember Marcus, man. How he doing,
I
man?
don't trust the trolls. Maybe that's him.
No,
I
I
can't
feel
tell.
you,
Hold up.
bro. I feel you.
I can't even see. Is that?
Shout out to the chat, man. I see y'all.
I don't think that's him. Um. Oh, shout out to Tim. What up, Tim? I rarely live stream anymore after logging 1,000 live stream hours. 1,000.
Let's
What?
go.
That's crazy.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Congrats.
All right. I see somebody. Who is that? I don't know who that is. I'll bring him up. Finesse 314. Is that your boy? You know who that is?
I don't know who that is.
Well,
Finesse
we're gonna
3-1.
find
I don't
out.
know.
I'll
Ah.
have the finger on the button if it's Let's bring him up. Finesse 314. How you doing?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. What you got on your mind tonight?
Man, dude, I've been trying to catch a live for so long. Dude, so I'm from St. Louis. I'm from North
Okay.
County area,
Okay.
Florissant.
Shout out to No. Stop playing. I'm
Yeah.
from
Hold up,
Florissant
real
too.
quick. You got like a light you can put on? We can barely
Oh,
see
yeah,
you.
yeah. Hold on.
Put a light on real
Shout
quick.
out to Finesse. Where you at in Florissant, man?
Well, nah.
That's
Where you at in
better.
Florissant?
I just moved to Texas a couple months ago.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm down in San
Awesome.
Antonio now. It's hot as hell. But It's good. It's. I would like to say though, real quick, with Walmart Spark, that's a big gig job to lose. If anybody don't know, you can make real good money. I mean, I'm making right now probably 175 a day minimum, 175 200 a day. On Spark right now. That's better than any job, 9 to 5 job I ever had. And I just sit there and wait on orders. I could kind of cherry pick because I know the system, but I would like to say though, real quick, is what I've been doing personally. I've been creating clients. I've been taking Walmart's clients and actually promoting like a private delivery service. You know, you don't gotta have a website or nothing. You can get you some business cards made, and even if you don't
That's
got
a
the
great
business
idea.
cards, you can still give your number out. Like I already got like 3 or 4 clients. Like any of the customers that walk out and talk to me while I'm doing Spark, I say, hey, here's my number. I do a private delivery service. I'll give you half off of your first order. Just do a little promotion to let them know, show your work ethic and stuff like that. Come prepared with your freezer bags. Everything you used to do with Spark, take their clients, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna work. But that's just a couple of things I had to say about that. But yeah,
I
so
appreciate that. No, that's definitely a great idea. I
yeah,
wish you
for
great
sure.
success with them getting them customers too, because private clients really, no matter if it's grocery shopping, food delivery, ride share, even I don't do no ride share. Them personal shoppers and
Yeah,
cutting out the middleman is the way to go. So salute
cut.
to you. Thanks for sharing that with us for real.
Yeah, no problem.
I love that. Marcus, what's up, man? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I ain't exactly camera ready, but I'm in the living room. I got my shirt on and all that.
No, I figured it was you. I just wanted to make sure, man.
What's up,
That's all. You're
Marcus?
good.
What's good, trader? Hey, just real fast, bro. Like, it's funny you telling your story because as we all know, the perception of you, bro, is always like fraudulent. Oh, he bullshitting something he ain't saying. And I found it funny listening to your story because that's exactly how I got on, like verbatim. No, we're talking about like honestly, because like it's funny because people was in the comment section like, why can he get his own Spark account?
Mm.
When I first got on Spark, I applied a month earlier before my wife did. True story. Same house, everything. I couldn't get on. They was waitlisting me. She applied and got on in a week. And I said, how the hell you get on, but I can't get on? I applied before you. And literally,
Yep.
like, she had a Jeep. So I was like, you know what you own? Chalk it. I just like Trader did. I'm gonna use your account. And this is before the whole facial recognition thing came about. Wasn't no camera, wasn't no verify. So I would do the orders or whatnot. And even the employees be like, wait a minute, you not Nicole. Wait a minute. Hold
Oh
on. This is a
yeah,
woman's name. And I was like, hey, look, man, my wife, man, chill out. Like, and they would let me do it. So when Trader said that, and I was reading the comment section, he's not lying. I can vouch for that. Not that he needs it, but I was like, that's funny because I said, 'cause that's exactly how I got on. Like, wasn't no frauds. It wasn't no, I got no record. Wasn't no identity theft. It was like, I literally could not get on, and she could. So I thought that was
Yeah,
funny
you
when he
gotta
told
do
that
what you gotta
story.
do sometimes.
Yeah, I was like, that's the same way I got on Spark. Now I have a Spark account myself now, but when I first got on, it's just like him. And I saw people in the comment section like, oh, he's lying. Oh, he's fake. He's hiding something. No, he's not. I can vouch for that. Like I said, yeah, I went through the verbatim the same thing. I could not get on to save my life. My wife got on a week later. So I did exactly what Trader did. I took her account, went out, made some money. And you know what I'm saying? So I just had to, I thought that was funny that he told that story. I was like, if can't nobody else relate, I can relate. That's exactly how I got on, got started.
That's
So thought
crazy.
that was funny. Yeah, thought that was
What's up,
funny.
Roy? Welcome to the show, man.
Yep. Of course, you know me. I'm gonna channel horror. I gotta be everywhere.
That's funny. You got you had an interesting question for Trader. You got anything else on your mind about the deactivations? I know how you feel about gig workers are our worst enemies and all that. Like, what do you got on your mind tonight?
To be honest with you, I gotta give him props. He actually took responsibility like a normal person should, because we see a lot too much bullshit. People not fucking taking responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Bullshit. We know. We know these apps track shit. We know this. And probably if you get a contract violation for, like, let's say you didn't drop out the food, they probably have other numbers back there that they just haven't warned you about it yet, so on and so forth. So when people act shocked, oh, this is my first one, bullshit. They probably have it lined up where you've had other complaints. They just haven't warned you about it. Now they're starting to warn you, probably maybe because it's become an issue. But he took credit for it. I'll give him props for that, because most gig workers find any and every excuse to blame it on somebody else other than themselves. And like I said, gig workers are their own worst enemy. They cost themselves customers. They're costing themselves tips. They're the problem. I'll be honest with you. They're the problem. But my question would be, what kind of W-2 are you looking for? That's what kind of skill.
Well, I got about, before starting the YouTube channel and become a gig worker in the gig economy, I got 10 plus years of warehouse experience, from order selector, machine operator, sanitation technician. I got it all. When anything in a factory I can do, basically. So I got some options.
Okay, and then the second part. Okay, cool. Second part of that question would be, since you've been gaslighted into being your own boss for so many years, since you've been doing gig work, gaslighted, think you're your own boss. Do you feel that going back to a W-2, you have the ability to take orders from somebody else? Because that's another bullshit thing we hear. Oh, I can't go back to a W-2 because I don't think I can listen to a boss, or blah, blah, blah. We always hear that bullshit too. Excuse my French. I'm sorry, Pedro.
That's like a management.
Listen, Roy, stop apologizing, because you're going to cuss anyway. So stop apologizing.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come sooner or later. But how do you feel about that? Do you feel that the gaslighting these companies have taught you to be your own boss? Do you think you would go back and have an issue listening to somebody else tell you what to do on a daily basis, or make your schedule for you that doesn't align with what you need your schedule made to be?
Yep, you're damn right.
I think for the majority of gig workers, it may be difficult to make that transition back into a full-time W-2 work. I'm not gonna hold you about that. It may be difficult for them, but at the end of the day, sometimes we got to think about what's more important, though, right? Holding your pride in is more important than taking care of what's important in the moment. Take care of bills. If you got kids, if you got a lady, if you got goals and aspirations you're trying to achieve. So I do want to answer that question simply, but my situation ain't the same as everybody's situation. And I don't want to sit up here and just say how I feel, because it's going to be other gig workers out there that get deactivated from Spark, either from the same thing I got deactivated for, or from different things. So
I hope not.
You may have to suck it up and going back to that W-2, because maybe you don't got DoorDash popping in your market, or Uber or Grubhub, and at that point, is it worth relying on those apps, and is that really something you can fall back on? For me, listen, I've already planned for this, so I said if I have to go back to a W-2, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna put up with whatever I have to put up with, because first and foremost, that's what men do, and that's what fathers do.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
I can't sit up here and be ungrateful and not think about what I have. Like, okay, y'all,
yeah,
I literally 3 years ago when I started and I quit a job to go full time in the gig work, I didn't have any of the support systems or backbone set up to where I would be able to make it if I got deactivated off the app. When I first started, if I would have lost and got deactivated right away, I would have had to go right back to a W-2.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
So going back now by choice is almost a blessing if you really think about it. So in my situation, I don't have the luxury to sit up there and say, oh, I want to just go at it with a DoorDash or Grubhub, or put all my time into this app. I want to do what's best for my family immediately, because I understand I have different options and avenues to choose from.
Okay, and I got another question for you too. I'm full of questions, motherfucker. You know how that goes. Another question would be,
I got long answers for you.
Because like me, for example, when I decided to go back to the W-2, you get a lot of your supporters and a lot of other people that want to call you a failure because you couldn't hack the gig works this, or oh, you suck, you went back to kissing the man's ass to be with the, whatever the case may be. What do you have to say to those type of people that would come at you? Because I'm guaranteed you're going to get it. They're going to say, hey, you just couldn't handle it anymore. That's why you went back to work for the man, blah, blah, blah. So what would you have to say to those kind of people that think, oh, you're lesser of a man because you had to go back to a W-2? What do you feel? What would you say to those people?
You know I love you, Roy, right? Listen. So listen.
Hey.
Honestly, bro, listen. I don't care about what people got to say. I'm too focused on what I got going on. You know, people gonna say what they say, Roy. I'm be honest with you, bro. I'm not one of those people who care about what people say, care about what people got going on. Like that's an honest and wholesome question. I'm not gonna sit up there and deny you of your right to ask that, but at the same time, like I don't care about that, Roy, at all. If they can say what they
that's
want to
good.
say,
That's what I want to hear, because a lot of people, they get their fucking feelings hurt when they're somebody. Oh, you just can't hack it. Some people get their feelings hurt, and they need to be told to go shut the fuck themselves. And
I put it to you like
I gotta
this,
do what
Roy.
I gotta
Look,
do.
when you come on YouTube and you present yourself as a personality or a character or whatever you want to do, put yourself out there. You open yourself up for criticism, and a positive or negative constructive criticism, they gonna come with it regardless. So I always looked at this YouTube like, if I'm putting it out there, I cannot be mad at somebody that leave a comment or what they got to say about it, because at the end of the day, I chose to put it out there, and that's just me. I keep it moving.
Okay, and another question, because I'm full of them. How's your wife? How's your wife been about it? Has she been supportive, like as far as you going back to a W-2? Has she been really supportive in that? Has she like maybe pushed you towards that because of it's more of a stable thing? Because I'm sure she's been through the ups and downs with this gig work bullshit. So how has she been about it? Has she been really supportive, like trying to maybe push you to a W-2 that's more conducive to the family life shit?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Roy. Like, my situation is my own, and I can't speak on nobody else's situation, but we good over here. Like, I don't open up and speak about what my spouse is thinking about to my supporters or people who asking about it. So I appreciate the question, but we don't go into that, man. I make the money and I make it happen.
I just think that's kind of an important question, because a lot of these gig workers have spouses, and they do have some say so in how their household is ran, and so whether or not your wife is supportive or not.
I have no objections to that, but what anybody else got going on in their house, that's their personal business. What they conversate between their spouses, and I respect that. And I ain't asking to know about none of that, and whatever conversations they have, that's up to them. And I'm gonna leave it there, respectfully.
And another question: do you feel that it's okay to shake the customer soda that's a non-tipper? What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that?
Well, listen. Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, because you gotta understand. We talking about Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, or Mountain Dew, Roy? Because
Mountain Dew. It's Roy. It's always Mountain Dew.
It's Mountain Dew. Okay, listen. If it's
it would be Mountain Dew, or it would be Pepsi products. We'll just call it
Pepsi. Listen, if it's Pepsi and they got a Ring camera, you don't shake it. Okay,
listen, hold on.
Everybody got a Ring camera.
Listen. We got panelists. We got all guys here, right? We got panelists here. We've all done delivery work. We're doing delivery work. We can't see Marcus's beautiful face, but that's fine.
Marcus don't want to cam up.
Who on this panel?
Hold on. Let me put a shirt on, man. I got a shirt on, y'all. Put me out here.
Put a shirt on. Marcus is doing that, all right? And I'm going to ask the live chat, too. You can put your guesses in the comment section. We're going to play a little game here, okay? Who on this panel, Mr.BetonYou, Dash and Trader, my man, 314 Finesse, right? Real Talk with Roy, or our man, Marcus. Who out of the five of us has shaken a soda? I want you to raise your hand.
On purpose?
On purpose, yes. On purpose. Anybody besides Roy?
Nah. Hell nah. I'm too paranoid.
I can't say that I have, man.
Yeah, I've done it.
I'm too
might
paranoid,
not get your
bro.
soda. I might not bring it to the door.
Dude, I'll be on TikTok the next day. I promise I would.
Marcus, have you shaken a soda?
I might have smashed some bread.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just as bad. That's worse, probably, maybe. I don't know.
That's kind of worse.
I might have smashed some bread,
There
just
he
like
is.
not on purpose, but just I just didn't give a fuck.
Marcus, have you ever shaken a soda?
Yeah, I've done it.
So the two guys on the bottom of the screen here tonight, guys, have shaken
A 2
soda.
liter.
So I already know why Roy does it. He's just an asshole. Marcus, you're not an asshole. So why would you shake a soda?
You know what? And like I say,
Uh,
just like Roy, my W-2 involves, delivering pieces or whatever. And I've had some assholes on the phone, like took the phone call because they don't realize that not only do I deliver it, I'm also taking the phone calls and help making it. So if you're a dickhead on the phone on some old hurry up, that's taking too long. I've done like Roy. "Oh, I got something for your ass. You wanna yell at me and scream at me on the phone? You thought that I was just gonna stay in the store? Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, for
All right,
sure.
so I gotta
Damn,
say because
boy.
we're on my channel. I do not want y'all shaking sodas. Okay, that's don't do it. But Marcus, Roy,
Bro,
I get it.
always keep your own
I've done
drinks,
it.
bro. Keep your
Listen,
drinks at
I'm gonna
home.
admit something. I'm gonna admit something publicly. Maybe you guys, we're being vulnerable here. The chat, you guys tell me some of the things you've done. I'm not on Walmart anymore, or I'm not on Spark. I can say this. There's been
Damn.
multiple times. I'm gonna admit something to y'all. I'm not proud of it, but I gotta tell the truth.
I know what he fin.
There's been multiple times I've gotten a Walmart Spark order, and we know Walmart, they'll pay crazy base pay sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like
Right.
30, 40 items, paying like $30. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And they got like 2, 3 cases of water.
Oh
They don't
yeah.
get that. They don't get that water. I do not. I say that it's out of stock. And I'm not proud to say it, but there's some of them customers with no tips, and I see they live in an apartment. Nope, those water
Oh
Oh
don't go in
yeah.
yeah.
stock.
I
I'm
delivered
paying
like
Oh,
three
$90.
absolutely.
cases
Sir.
up. I
I
delivered
Yes,
am
three
going to
sir.
tell
cases
you,
of 3 flights of stairs, bro. The other
in
day.
Yes, sir.
my past delivery job, not this current past, not my current job, but my past delivery job. Oh, I was one of the worst. You didn't tip me because you got to remember, I'm there. I'm going to get your orders. I'm there every day, at least 5 days a week. So when you order and I know you don't tip, I memorize those addresses very well. I
Oh,
will.
absolutely. Yep.
I wouldn't do anything gross to your food, but
Nah, right.
No, never,
I did have a
never that.
special tube. I did have a special tube that I hooked to my air conditioning vent that I could run right into the pizza bag, and you would be getting cold food. I've delivered
Nah, I ain't
pizza.
do all that, dog.
It'd be those
I've
orders that
delivered
be
pizza.
like $49 for 48 miles. It'd be like
Yeah,
those
Yeah,
orders.
I've done the
I've
pop. I've
delivered
never
pizza.
intentionally made your food code. I've never done
They
that
try
one.
I've
to
I've
done.
done the
Hold
pop.
on.
they try
I've
to up the
delivered
base
pizzas
pay.
upside down. I've delivered your pizza
Hold
upside down before. I was that guy. If it was wintertime, oh, I would open the bag. I would open the bag and every window in the car.
And Walmart
Trust
Yeah,
me.
Walmart
see, I ain't
take your
doing
Oh
all that.
tips too.
man, y'all
Walmart takes some of your
diabolical.
tips.
Oh
That's
man.
diabolical, Roy. That's diabolical. Putting
I,
AC
That's
on
a
the
little
bill.
too
That's
much.
crazy.
I am very strong when it comes to tipping. If I'm risking my
Oh, that's
personal
crazy.
health,
Bro,
my
can I ask
personal
a question real quick?
You go ahead. Yeah,
Let
absolutely.
me ask a question. Because I do this multiple times because
if
this
I'm
is
like I
like
said,
out
if
in the
I'm
country,
risking my
right?
personal health, my personal property, yeah, go
Listen,
ahead.
do y'all get sketched out when you have to deliver to like trailers in the middle of the woods and shit? Cause like like when you go like deep in the forest on them gravel roads, like all the way in the back of the country, and
Yeah, I
it'd
I
be
don't.
mean,
I
you
like
don't
got to
tip.
use
and
them
it'd be
high
like
beams,
8
bro.
p.m. and they
Yeah,
don't
I
have no
haven't.
lights, bro. That shit
Got to
is
use them high
wicked.
beams.
That shit. I sometimes I don't even get out. I just
But
throw
look,
that shit
people
out the
out there
window.
in the woods need
But
pizza
to be
too. I
honest
did
with
an
you,
order today.
You're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but
they out
but
in the
you got to
woods.
worry about other shit then now when
but
you out in the
Possums and
woods.
raccoons and foxes and
but to
yep,
be
Nah,
you
like
ain't
yeah,
lying.
whatever be out there, bro. That shit is nuts.
Yeah, I've had a few sketchy ones. I thought I was gonna get shot. Like out here in Ohio where I'm at,
for real,
it's a spot called Lost
uh,
Nation.
I really do believe in that whole tipping thing. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, tipping for sure. Yeah,
The Walmart be stealing tips.
you say
I hope
Walmart?
y'all. Yes, I hope y'all know that. And I don't care if Walmart see this, but I know
All right,
y'all take
am
tips.
I coming through? Am I coming
Yeah,
through?
you are.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
You're fine. Marcus, what's up?
Am I coming
How you
through?
been, man? What's going on
Okay,
with you?
here's
You still
my deal.
doing? You
I
still
am
doing
very
some of the
strong
gig
about
work?
when it.
Well,
Hold on, Roy. Hold on, Roy. Marcus, what's up with you, man? You still doing the
Ooh,
gig work? You got the
uh-huh.
W-2. Like, how's life right now, man?
oh man, life is good. Like Trader was saying, I went back to my W-2 because for the same reasons. I got deactivated from Uber Eats on some fraudulent BS. I'll be honest, like he was,
Mm.
and I went back to my W-2 as a driving manager. And like I say, that's why I big him up for that, because I wasn't too big for it. Because like he said earlier, I was paranoid. I was like, man, I was doing a full-time gig. I don't want no goddamn boss again. Because I remember how that was. I was loving the freedom. But like he said, though, it's like you got to a point. I got kids. I had to put my ego aside and say, you know what? This DoorDash ain't working. The catering ass was slowing down. I said, you know what? Fuck this YouTube trying to keep up with Hustle CLE and everybody. I gotta do what I gotta do for my family.
Big
So
ups
yeah,
to you for that, bro. Big ups.
For sure,
I'm
Holiday
yeah.
proud of
season
you,
is
Marcus,
coming up,
bro.
bro.
For real,
Real
bro.
talk, bro.
Hey,
Yeah,
and I'm about to do the same shit, bro. Regardless of
And
this channel, and I'm about to do the same thing because it don't matter. And you gotta do what's best for you in the moment. So I'm proud of you for saying that, bro. Real
no, I
shit.
appreciate
And I'm
it. Yeah,
happy
that's
to
why
see
I
you
can relate to
again, for
you.
real.
Yeah, I can
Listen,
relate to
it's
you because,
like
like I say,
we can't. Our kids can't suffer just because we want to do what we want to do, right?
oh, I fought it, bro.
Our
Yeah,
kids got to eat. They need to have, So
That's
we
right.
Yeah,
can't
that's a
just
fact.
do. Oh, Pedro don't want to have a W-2. I would go back if I had to. I'm just not to that point, right? But my kids
I
and
will.
my girl, they shouldn't suffer because my ego, like Marcus and Trader saying. So I totally get where you guys are coming from with that, man.
yeah.
It's
So
just
like
as
the pizza
simple as
thing,
that.
yeah, I went right back to my pizza job, though. I'm like Roy, man. I'm going back to my pizza job, bro. I'm delivering pizza part time. I do DoorDash still. I won't lie, like I still do it. But like Trader was saying, though, I did the same thing. I was fraudulent, man, chasing the money. Didn't want to, go through my the waiting list. I got my girl's account. I said, I'm gonna do it. But as soon as I got deactivated, just like Trader, man, that's why I joined up here or whatever. Because again, like he said, we got kids, bro. From a father to a father, hey, I'm gonna take my ego, or I'm gonna say, because my wife told me, she was like, go back to your W-2. I said, hell no. I do Zipty, I do DoorDash, I get another account. I was saying, wait, I was like, I
Yeah.
use your other account. I was like, nope. You know what? So yeah, bro,
And
I'm
you know
good, man.
what?
I'm back to
Look,
my
I'm
W-2.
I'm gonna go ahead and share with you, Roy. Like I don't really talk about my personal life and what's going on, but Marcus, thank you for sharing and opening up with us.
Oh, for
But like
sure.
my girl is like, look, you doing your thing on YouTube, you making money, you making it happen. She ain't tripping off me going back to no W-2. She know I can make it happen with these gig apps and with the channel. But I'm like, look, baby, I'm going back to a W-2 because I want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure, and I don't want to fall back on that stuff. I want to have a plan for a plan for a plan. And if that means
Right.
going back to a W-2 sooner, that's what's best for the family. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you sharing that, Marcus, because even though I got this channel and stuff, like none of that matters in the long run, because the same way you get deactivated off a gig app, somebody could report your video, or my channel could get hacked again, like it got hacked in
Right.
the
Yeah.
beginning when I first
Yeah,
started,
right.
or anything can happen. So you can't really fall on back on that either. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
get up now before it's too late, and you can still build your channel on the side the same way you do gig apps on the side. And like I was, maybe back in 2020 when things were super good, you could just quit your job and go full force into YouTube. But maybe right now it ain't that time to be doing that. And if some things happen to take your main money maker away, keep yourself afloat and going back to a W-2. And you know what I'm saying? It ain't the worst thing in the world. For real. That's how I look at it.
Oh no, you're right. Because I went through that same thing, man. Because like I had left, and when the main reason, not to cut nobody off, I apologize. The main reason why I left, I felt good because I was like bragging. I was like, man, y'all still in there answering to him because same owner, whatever. I was talking big stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I'm out here, man, getting this DoorDash money, gig work. I'm like, Roy, I'm an independent contractor. I'm getting my own money. And when I stopped doing it and I came back, I felt that way. I was like still Trader. I went through that. I thought you were Mr. Gig too, Mr. Independent. Oh, you was independent, blah, blah, bragging. You got money. I said, you know what? I said, the hell what y'all talking about? I need that check.
Independent employee.
Yeah, I need that check. I was like, the freedom was cool. The freedom sounded good. I say, dog, it ain't hitting like it was. I need this check. So like Trader said, I went through it. They was clowning me. Oh, you quit. Oh, you walked off. Oh, you was done. Remember, you was Mr. Gig work. Yeah,
Hey,
screw that. I
wait,
need that check.
Pedro,
Yeah, what's up?
Independent employee.
dude, real quick,
Right,
did
independent
that
employee,
dude
right.
really stand there and take out all the eggs and look at the bottom of the eggs?
Absolutely. Every single egg.
Oh hell no.
I
Egg.
commend you for your patience because I would have been out of there a long time ago.
Well, you know
You
what?
ain't
Because I
lying.
got to give
When
that
he
guy a
t-
little
That's
love.
some patience right there.
He
Absolutely.
tipped me an extra $5
that
too.
is
Like
outrageous.
he was a
Yeah.
cool guy, but it
You
was
can't
I've
argue
never
with
seen
that.
that before.
See, and that's why, don't get me wrong. None of my gig work did I ever do those kind of things. That was my other W-2 job back when I did that crazy shit. But I'm dead ass serious about the tip shit. I am religious when it comes to that. I look at it this way. We risk our personal safety. We risk our personal property. So you have the luxury of sitting on your fat ass. Because let's be honest.
Yeah.
We've seen when they open up the door. They're high calorie people. They're not starving. Dead ass. They're not starving. And so
Yeah,
if you
I
get
ain't
the
gonna lie.
if you get the luxury to sit there and play with your kids, play with yourself, watch TV, do whatever the case it is, and you can't tip, yeah, fuck your food. Fuck your food. Like, to me, that is just ignorance.
For real.
And, you know, if you get some cold pizza one night, then hey, you deal with the cold pizza. You got an
Yeah, if
oven.
we didn't have to
Yeah.
drive through a goddamn Grand Canyon to get to people's houses, maybe we would get the shit quicker. All the fucking potholes and back roads and shit we gotta drive through. Struts, everything
right, yeah.
gone off your
Where you
car.
live, like backwoods of Kentucky or some shit? Like, where you living
Hell
in? Like,
no.
Right.
I live in Seguin, Texas.
He's in Texas, man. Yeah.
Oh, you in
got
Texas?
all
Okay.
that.
you up in the
Yeah,
Ozarks,
you gotta be
like, you up
careful.
in the
Right.
Ozarks. Like, the
And
fuck?
I'm in a Audi, man.
I live
I'm
in
in a-
Vegas, man. We don't have that shit problem.
Hey, Trader, tell me about Letterbox Lady.
A letterbox lady. Who is that?
Junebug said something about Letterbox Lady. What's that?
Letterbox.
Hold on, let me get caught up in the chat. What's going on? What is letterbox lady?
Right.
I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't know what letterbox lady.
Yeah, she retracted. She said something about ask Trader about the Letterbox Lady.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Letterbox Lady.
Yeah,
Might be an
that's
old
what she-
video or something you had.
I
Might
don't
be an
know
old
what that's-
video, old live stream or something.
I'm drawing a blank right now, y'all.
And you guys also got to figure, if you guys order off the apps, you guys tip, right? So why should you be delivering a non-tip order? Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no.
I mean,
Oh, I agree,
always
Roy.
tip
No,
something.
I'm with you, bro.
I always tip.
I just
pretty
never did
decent,
the
actually.
whole cold
I'm a
food thing.
over-tipper.
I never done that part. I'm with you on the tip part. I never like rolled the window down. I did the pop thing. I haven't done that, but
I
never did the roll the window down. But I'm with you.
I got fired by that job through email corporate. So.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, somebody gave me weed as a tip.
Oh yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had
we've
that.
all
Yeah,
had that. Yeah.
I've had. Yeah.
I don't want
They be
your
like,
weed.
here go 3 grams.
I don't want your weed. I want money. I pay my bills.
Right.
I want money.
Nah, sometimes I take the weed. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's give a little shout out to Bobby. Bobby, we know Bobby Gator. He says nobody should.
What Bobby
ever be
Gator
delivering
is?
Bobby.
orders. You're enabling
You
bad
know,
habits.
To be honest with you, it's not a bad habit. It's usually something that's brought down from generations to generations. Like I was raised, I always saw my mom and dad tip. That's just being there. You go out to a restaurant, you tip. You saw that. And and I think society, it's not a bad habit, it's a society issue in my case. Too many entitled people nowadays that they deserve the world handed to them on a fucking velvet pillow. And no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't. And I think that's more of the problem. I think that's more. I don't think the whole tip fatigue, that's just an excuse to be a cheap ass person. That's
Roy, I would challenge you on that. I think there's definitely a tip fatigue movement in this country because
but you got to also remember, you got to know you're a fucking grown adult. You know what you should tip for. If I walk into 7-Eleven to pick up a taquito and I see a tip jar, why would I tip that? Why would I tip that? You know that kind of shit. But if you're ordering delivery or you're in a restaurant, you know those are normally tipped positions and you tip it. So just because you go into Jimmy Joe's pickle factory and they got a tip jar, doesn't mean you got to tip them or I'm tipped out. I'm tip fatigued because I saw a tip at the pickle factory. No, that's bullshit, bro.
The problem is there's too many places that ask for tips now. It's just too many. It's oversaturated with a tip screen on everything you look at, even on your phone. Yep. So
hey, you know what? Like the minimum wage in my market is like pretty freaking high. Like the regular minimum wage, not DoorDash minimum wage, like regular. And a lot of these places still ask for a tip no matter what. I'd be like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and that plays a big impact on us getting a tip as delivery drivers because that fatigue. If they didn't tip the Starbucks lady and the Best Buy guy and the Roto-Rooter man and the rug doctor man, they like, man, I ain't giving this delivery.
Say Roto-Rooter? Where did that come from?
Everybody getting a tip. I swear to God, bro, it's crazy.
It's random
Spectrum. Hey, Spectrum want a tip.
Right, they want a tip. Yep.
Yeah,
But it's
said,
funny
damn.
because my W-2, it says on the receipt, delivery fee. And I had a woman confront me one day because I had to ask on the phone, would you like to leave a tip? And she was like, the last time I ordered, she said the receipt said delivery fee, blah, blah. I said, ma'am, I understand that, but the driver don't get that. She was like, but I paid a delivery fee. I'm like, I tried, I'm like, man, I understand that. So people have that mindset, like if I'm paying, if it says delivery fee, I already paid you. I said, I get it, but the driver don't get that. So I deal with that a lot, my W-2.
And that's where some more education needs to be done to the customers. The
Yeah.
delivery fee, yes, that goes to the company. Why? Because they got to supply bags for your food.
Yep. Right.
Those bags aren't cheap. They got to supply special containers so you can get your fucking food delivered to you. So people
Right.
need to be educated on what a delivery fee is. The first thing that comes to mind, oh, that's what the drivers get. No, that goes for supplies. That goes for being able to track the driver. Like we're tracked whenever we're on the road, we're tracked. So they have to pay for an app to track us, make sure we're safe. We're
Nah,
not,
that's facts though, for real. Because it'd be like Dasher arrived on their little tablet and everything.
Yeah,
That shit
when
goes
when
for real.
DoorDash first started, that's how it was.
That's
When it
facts.
first started up, that shit was a mess. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so a lot of I think customers need to be educated on that the delivery fee goes to other things that the store has to provide just so
But
you can get your delivery in the
you
first place.
paying like $10 more for your food. You paying double basically. On if you go on DoorDash or Uber, you paying double what you would pay if you go to the store.
Yep. It's
But
double.
then, but like you say,
At
but like Roy
minimum,
said,
bro.
they come get it though, because like some people order from my job and they'll get mad. They be like, "It's right down the damn street." I'm like, "Okay, if it's right down the damn street, then drive your ass down there and come pick it up."
You
Like
paying
if
for
you want me to
convenience.
drive my car, yeah, right. I'm like, you want me to drive my car to you? Now get it to W-2, I get a paycheck. But that same thought process, like people get so upset, like, "Oh, the delivery fee." I said, "Well, bro, McDonald's is the same thing I'm about to do. You can do. Get in your
Let's ask
car,
the
start
chat.
your car." You
You
know.
know, I got a quick thing. Let's ask the chat real quick. Chat, what you guys think? Is it a matter of tipping in the day and age? Are we just too tip fatigued? Drop a one if you think we too tip fatigued, or if you think it's a matter of how you was raised. If your mother and father, grandparent, whoever your guardian was, taught you to tip, taught you to just do the right thing in the moment. Because I'm kind of jaded on the topic. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, it's
Well,
like I always saw folks tip, you know,
because
even
to
if they
me it's
didn't have
not
it.
a
If you
Right.
requesting the service,
it's being
Right. Me
raised
too.
with respect for other people. It's not necessarily the whole tip thing. It's more of a respect. Somebody's doing something special for me that I technically could get off my ass and do myself. So it's more of a respect thing when it comes down to being, you've seen your parents do it. You see, their your grandparents do it. That's because they're showing respect. Nowadays, people don't know what fucking respect is. They don't want to show respect. They expect everything handed to them. Like I ordered my Big Mac 30 seconds ago. Where's it at? The fuck are you talking about? Like it takes time. So
Well,
I think
I feel like tipping is just more of a peer pressure thing now. It's like anywhere you go, it's like a peer pressure, basically saying, well, everybody else tips, you got to tip too. Basically, so, I mean,
yeah. And it's like a guilt. It's like they might want the customer to feel guilty if they don't tip. So they're like, that type of shit. But yeah, if I go into to get a taquito at 7-Eleven, I see a tip jar, you ain't getting a tip from me. You are getting paid an hourly wage to do those type of jobs. You're not getting paid an hourly wage to deliver DoorDash to somebody's door. So there's the whole difference.
Tip anybody. I mean, nobody gets the money to do it.
Hey, Finesse, you're cracking up a little bit. Your connection's a little bad, Finesse.
Oh,
Cracking up. It's all right.
But even the tip jar though, like if I go to a restaurant, like and pick it up and they're like nice to me, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Greet me when I come in. I'll throw $2-3 in the tip jar. Like I say, I don't mind, Yeah.
If they throw you extra shit, I'm giving them a tip because
Oh yeah, for sure, right.
because they're like when I did DoorDash, I had specific restaurants. They knew me. I would pick. I had my set stores. There are certain stores I would not go to, but there were stores I would go to, and those stores knew that if I already understood, hey, I'm getting paid pretty good on this. The quicker I get it, the quicker whatever. So I would go in and I would give them a tip. I'd say, "Hey, bro, how your day going? We're all working for tips here." Throw a couple bucks in their jar. You know how far that would go to the next time you go there? How fast you get your order? They remember
Absolutely.
that shit. So,
Absolutely.
when I would go to Capriotti's, I'd throw $5 in there. Say, hey, you guys are working on tips, so are we. Every time I went to Capriotti's, they knew homie tips us. He takes care of us. Boom. My order. I would see Dasher standing there waiting for the order. I'd walk in and I would get my order before they would standing there because I took care of the people. That it takes a couple bucks to make a relationship at a restaurant to guarantee you're going to get your food quick, and shit. It's worth it to me. That's worth it to me.
So Adam says, I pay for the bill, not the extra tip. And I think there's a growing people in this country that are like, hey, the company needs to pay y'all more. Why do I have to pay you more? Everything costs more now, instead of Applebee's paying the server more, or instead of DoorDash paying more, I need to supplement your living. I think, what do you guys say to that when people use that argument? The company just needs to pay more. What do you guys say to that?
That's a lame ass excuse. That's another lame ass excuse. You're paying somebody to do something special. The company is paying you. They're paying you to do what they ask you to do, which is drop out the food. You're asking me as a consumer to do something special. Hey, I want to sit and play with my kids. I want to watch a movie. I want to play with my new toy I bought at the adult store. Whatever it is. You're asking somebody to do you a favor. If you can't show some goddamn respect for that person that's doing it, because let me tell you something, as rough as we talk, we choose this job because we kind of want to help people. We know there's people out there that can't do certain things, and we take it upon ourselves as delivery drivers, say, hey, you know what? I'll suck it up. I'll do it. I'll do something nice for people because I ain't nice to really anybody at the end of the day. I'm an asshole to everybody. So I'm doing nice just by getting in my car and bringing your shit. You can show some respect. It's all about respect. Anytime somebody does a service for you that you could do yourself, you should show respect. So it's more of a respect thing to me. Like, show some respect,
And to add on to that, I think where we at in this day and age, we at a crucial point to where we got so many drivers, we got so many customers that still do want items. Don't get me wrong, even though it's a lot of saturation and it's low base pay, the demand for items is still there. But the companies are making record profits and they're not willing to come below that threshold and really increase that base pay and share some of that profit with the drivers because there's too many drivers. They got enough drivers to where they're getting everything facilitating and making them record profits. And I hate to say it, but it's going to get to the point where it starts to lead towards more regulation and legislation in order for them to come off of some of them profits and make it an even playing field, which may in turn make more situations like what's happening throughout this past week happen with deactivations of people like myself using other people's accounts, and they're gonna make it stricter and thin out the herd, so to say, to make and take care of the saturation issues.
And
I see that happening in the future.
And I'll jump on and add to that. These apps are a mind fuck. These apps mind fuck people. They feed you this. Oh, we're gonna do this for you. We're gonna do that. People get excited about that, and then they slowly screw you over a period of time. Oh, you're still your own boss. You still get to make your own schedule. Hey, look, we're doing this special thing, even though it's worse than what you're really actually doing. But they make it sound. So they mind fuck you. And unfortunately, because they are able to find so many people, because they're hurting now, and they've drilled you into the ground to where you got to work 7 days if you want to pay your bills. So they know that. And so why would they pay you $5 if they know through their mind fuckery and getting you trained, because it's all training type thing, trained to pick up. They're going to make you do the 250s, and you're going to be trained to do it because guess what? You need that daily money now to fix your car, pay your house, pay your phone. They know this. So these apps are a big mind fuck. That's why they give you all those, oh, look, you can be a diamond driver, but yet you still getting doo-doo orders. I'm great. I'm special. I'm the diamond guy, but yet I'm still getting $250 doo-doo orders. Like, what? What is that? So
like you said earlier, though, with the whole like for me, that question, Pedro, it's a built-in excuse. Like you were saying earlier, we all know at this point in time, okay, yes, could DoorDash pay more? Probably. I don't know the books, but like you said earlier, companies are for themselves. If you think a company gives a fuck about you, like you said, Roy, hey, you know what? Why pay Trader $10 when I get Marcus to do it for $8? Oh, why pay Marcus? I can get Roy to do it for $5, and then so forth and so on. And like you say, we all know this. So people use that excuse like, oh, company pay you more. Should they? Absolutely. But they don't. Like, so if you're going to use a service, you got to stop, in my opinion, leaning on that whole bullshit. Oh, the company, damn well the company ain't going to pay you more. You know that. So it sounds great. Like McDonald's. McDonald's makes a damn $1 billion a day. McDonald's could easily pay you $50, in my opinion. I'm not gonna speak for them, but McDonald's, in my opinion,
let me add on to that. What you're saying, Marcus, is we're not competing against DoorDash to give us a higher base pay. We really competing against each other to stop taking such low of a base pay. That's really what it is.
And unfortunately, we don't know other people's circumstances. They might be in that circumstance where they have no choice. But
that's where the companies are able to take advantage. You're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah,
so
they don't care.
It all boils down to this question: what are we gonna do individually to make sure that we succeed in the long run? Because the way the company's got it set up, it's always gonna be somebody out there to undercut you. Are you gonna go back to a W-2 like Marcus did? Are you gonna branch out to other sectors? Are you gonna go all in and say, you know what, I'm not about to give up. I'm about to just put in more hours or whatever the case may be. What is going to be your final outcome is the question.
Well, that's the way I look at it. If you want to do gig work full time, you better have a plethora of apps. That's the only way you're going to make it, is if you have 5 to 6 apps you can rely on. If you're trying to do full time DoorDash only, you might as well get that W-2 and do the part time DoorDash, because you're going to probably benefit more from the W-2. But if as long as you have
in this day and age, it might be time to like look to like move up to like cargo van work and different levels of gig economy work.
Right, yeah, that DoorDash.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is still cargo to be out there, to be delivered within the city limits on a daily basis. So there's opportunities there too, but it might just have to expand way beyond food delivery and grocery.
Hey, Trader, I'm glad you said that, bro. Not to cut you off, I apologize. That's the thing too. We got to stop thinking that delivery is not just food. Like you said, I'm glad you said that, Trader. Delivery ain't just food. It's a plethora of things you can deliver. It's all types. You can deliver fucking wood. You can deliver lumber. You know what I'm saying? So we always think delivery, DoorDash. No, bro. It's like the cargo vans. Like you say, get a box truck. So I'm glad you said that. To cut you off, I apologize. But I'm glad you said that though. Delivery ain't just DoorDash.
But Walmart is looking to do everything in house, and that's why they're starting to see their little trucks parked outside of Walmart. I have them over here at the Walmart where I live. They got a couple little vans out there. That's what they're wanting to do, because, like I said, why would they give once again you $40 to do 3 deliveries when they could pay $20 for their own employee? They already have insurance. They already pay insurance for them, so they ain't got to fucking worry about paying insurance through Sparks app or whatever the case may be. So yeah, they would be more an apt to do it for themselves, because then they get all the profits. They get all the profits. They ain't got to pay nobody jack shit. And so I think sooner or later, that's why you're going to start seeing more deactivations, because they're going to get to the point where it's like certain stores are going to be delivery only stores. They're not going to have walk-in customers. It's going to be like an Amazon. They're going to have like little Walmart hubs that are just like Amazon, and they'll have their little Walmart trucks out there, and boom, kind of like Dash Mart. They'll have their own like little Dash Mart type things, and that's going to be how Walmart's going to run. To be honest,
companies are already figuring out ways to have less employees and more automation, more self kiosks, more checking yourself out. And Roy's right. In 10 years, a lot of these businesses are going to be, you really don't even walk in. And if you do, you're doing your own shopping. You got a cart now where you can put the stuff in the cart and it already has a subtotal for you, and you walk right out. Like,
that's scary.
And that's scary though, because the jobs are being taken away. They're being taken away, so it's going to be to where we just have everything either delivered, or when you go to a place, you're in a warehouse and there's nobody there to help you and you're doing all the work yourself.
But one thing, Pedro, not to cut you off, think about it though. That Walmart, even though I disagree with it, that Walmart kiosk don't need a babysitter. That Walmart kiosk ain't calling off. Like, that's the one downside to get the company wide. They thinking that if I pay Trader might have car trouble. Trader might, or Roy might have, his daughter might be sick. It ain't gonna be sick. That kiosk, that automated kiosk ain't calling off. So yeah, the companies are for themselves, right?
It never needs a raise. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that kiosk will call off.
Don't be surprised in the next few years you see a Walmart just like an Amazon. The little robot arms grabbing shit off the shelf, putting it in the basket.
100%.
Don't be surprised if you don't see it, because sooner or later, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have specific Walmarts.
Let's welcome Mike to the show. And
what's up, Mike?
June, how you guys doing tonight?
How you doing, Joe Bud? What's going on?
Hello.
Are you knitting something?
What's up, June Bud?
Hey, I'm making a blanket for my grandma.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I love
That's a
that.
beautiful thing.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Let's
appreciate it.
go.
Yeah, what's going on?
You
Just
figure
talking about.
they already pay their workers workman's comp, so it'd be more advantageous for them to just have their own people deliver the stuff, and they'll probably have it within a radius, so people will be getting their shit a lot faster than they are now because they won't have to worry about Spark driving 20 miles because they have a little delivery to their own store within that area that customer lives. They can get their shit in 15, 20 minutes, So, I see Walmart doing the Amazon big time. I think they're wanting to do that.
Oh, the companies for themselves. Absolutely. The companies are definitely going to find a way to save themselves some money, to make their profit margin grow. And like Trader was saying earlier, so I think the best way for us to do, it's not easy all the time, but anything worth having ain't easy. We got to start building our own situation. Like Pedro said that. Like, I know people are against the like the cash rise and stuff, but that might not be a bad idea. Like, if you could find a
No.
way to provide a service, like you say, if you have somebody that grocery shop every Monday, and you know what, like you say, you ain't gotta broadcast it on YouTube. Just have a conversation. Like, I'm here all the time. I notice that you always in need of this. Can I provide that service for you? Call me directly. I know the whole deactivation because, like you said earlier, at any point in time when they change terms of service and deactivate you, they'll fire your ass. So why should I keep waiting for DoorDash to change their mind and say, oh, you know what, Trader, Marcus, Roy, we got a robot now. The hell with you. You know what I mean? So like, no, you know what? Like Trader said, try to set myself up and build my own instead of always constantly in fear of a rule change or a deactivation. It's not easy, but that's
I
my
feel
opinion.
you.
You
I
know,
feel you on that. I think that's a solid option too, especially if you want to continue to be successful in the gig economy. At this day and age, the base pay getting so low, the competition
yep,
so high. If you can get something of your own
right.
in your own little area, why not? For real.
Yeah, start small, like you say, like you were saying, if like just say for instance, like if we usually go to the same places, like Roy say, you usually see the same people. It's like just you ain't gotta be ignorant about it, like you said, Pedro, like you say, hey, I just happen to notice, I pick you up every few days. I'm always picking you up, taking you to work. You know what? Call me directly. Throw me $25 or something. Throw me $20 instead of paying all these fees and tips and all that. Just set something up, like you were saying. Just hey, throw me a solid little. I'll pick you up, take you home, call me, you get off. Say because a lot of times too we advertise everything. You ain't gotta advertise on YouTube.
I do.
They
You
ain't
can
got nothing
actually
I
do
about
do.
it.
that by
Well, you do, but
you can actually
huh?
you can actually do like
Well, yeah,
Lyft and like when it comes to Lyft and Uber stuff, you can actually do contracts because a lot of people they use Lyft I picked up people every day, the same people every
but
day
that's what I'm
because
saying, right? Yeah,
they have to use Lyft. So you can make a little contract with them. Okay, you're paying. From what I see, you're paying how much you paying a day. Okay, I'll knock 25% off that if you do
exactly.
this
Yep.
little. We'll just do it a little weekly contract. I'll pick you
Hmm.
up every day for 25% less of what you're paying for Lyft. You're gonna snatch those people up. You're gonna
Oh
snatch
yeah,
them up. So it's not hard. Rideshare is one of the easiest, in my opinion, way to get private clients. That is one of the easiest
It's
ways.
way easier. Yeah, it's way easier than the delivery food stuff.
Shout
Right?
out to
And once
Jeremy
somebody
Small.
is and once you get somebody so comfortable with you to sit in your back seat, and if
Yeah,
you're one of those people, then you got them people on lock. You got those
yeah,
people on lock.
yeah,
So
for sure.
you can definitely build a rapport. Like I said, I saw somebody comment on one of Pedro's videos one time, like, "Oh, you can't do that. You'll get deactivated." There's a way to go about things. Like you don't have to be a creepy, weirdo. Hey, like you just have a conversation. Like you'd be surprised at just a simple conversation. And like you said, Roy, you see the same people pretty much all the time in most markets. You see all the time, like I'm always going here. They're always going, to the grocery store. Hey, you know what? Like Roy said, I could say you like what's the fees on DoorDash? Paying this and then a tip service fee. Give me $20. Write down what you want. Throw me $50. Same process. I'll go get it, or however you want to structure it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah,
well,
I think that's
that's
definitely the
not
way.
that's
that's
kind of
not
how
going to be
will
for
Lyft work.
everybody. That's
That's
not
kind of
going to
how
be
Not
where
for
Lyft. That's
Lyft
hold
true.
up,
works.
Roy. That
That was
won't be for everybody. It will take a certain kind of individual to have that conversation. It's not easy. You're
Right.
going to hear a lot of no's or whatever, and you're going to have to make sure you're protecting yourself with the proper insurance or the liability is okay.
Oh,
Maybe you got to
absolutely.
have an LLC. Like that won't be for
Excellent
everybody.
point.
But Marcus and Roy are right. Like if you could step out into that and get some things what I call off the books, making
Right.
money off the books in that way. You can still pay taxes on it and stuff, but what not on the app. You're building yourself your own little client pool to where you're not like, I got to turn this app on at 7 a.m. No, you know what? It's just like a catering, right? When you have a catering the next day, it's really good to have a $60 order. Now, I'm picking up Roy and taking him to work. That's $25. Then I'm going to pick up Marcus and take him to work at 4 p.m. There's another 25. And instead of Marcus paying $40 to Uber, he's paying 25 to me. You get a couple people. All you need is, like, realistically, if you can get 10 people like that a week. And that's not a lot, but if you can get 10 and build that, that could be like 25% of your income right there. And then you're not relying upon the apps as much. And you're not worried about a deactivation. And then that person that you're picking up, taking to work, or if you're doing their Instacart shopping for them, right, off the Instacart app, they're gonna tell a friend, hey man, this guy's great.
Oh
He's
yeah.
saving me money. He's reliable. His
No,
car's
for real,
clean. That's the people that do that are separating themselves, and then you're not worried about saturation because you're a market of one at that point.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, that's how I did Lyft. When I first started Lyft, I didn't want to do the strip. I'm like, oh, fuck the strip, traffic's horrible. But you have to evolve. And so when I started doing the strip, things totally changed. And I ended up, because I worked a late night shift, like from 6 at night till 3 in the morning. I was on a regular picking up the same prostitutes going from hotels to hotels. So I got it set up to where I had specific prostitutes that I would give me my number. As soon as they were done at the Treasure Island, hey, I'm going to the Mandalay Bay, I scoop them up. And I ain't going to tell you how much they would pay me to do that kind of stuff, because I was getting a little bit of a percentage of whatever the case may be. But I had that set up where I had 3 or 4. I know now I'm not trying to say I was a pimp. I was just a chauffeur. I will just put it that way.
No,
I was
you were a pimp. You were a pimp.
But I wasn't pimping out. I was just taking it from hotel to hotel. But yeah, I had like 3 or 4 girls that I could rely on at least every week of the night to give me 2 rides. One from this hotel to that hotel, or that hotel to that hotel. And that it was like, so you can get that. You can get those private clients.
All right, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if Roy was a pimp. I want to see the ones flowing in right now.
No, Roy was not a pimp.
I don't know, man. Roy, he might have been. You gotta realize Roy was
a glorified taxi. That's all Roy was a glorified taxi.
Wait. You notice he's not saying how he's getting paid either. He's just,
I'm just joking.
I had those stories
Trader,
without having to do prostitutes.
I got a quick question, bro.
Crazy.
Okay. Speaking of building your own, man. I know the Dash and Trader is a play on words. Like you a Dash and Day Trader. Have you ever? I've been to ask you this before. Have you ever considered, bro, like doing like a YouTube tutorial on that? Because I'm seeing a lot of that lately. A lot of people are they say they're making good money day trading. You're the only person I know on YouTube that does. Like, you ever thought about like teaching that, like a course or something, like, as another way to make good money, like side money?
I have, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like I know a solid enough to really be trying to teach somebody else and claim that I got enough for a course. Like, maybe I could like show my journey and like have people watch alongside my journey. I could possibly do that, but to charge someone else and say that I'm like teaching you the ropes, I don't know if I'm at that point yet.
I respect that, because I was wondering, because I've been seeing that a lot.
Something I want to do, but you gotta be at that level. You know what I'm saying? You can't just claim that you at that level and you ain't really. So it's kind of one of them situations for real. But
I always knew that was part of your name.
I do aspire to get to that point, to be honest with you, to where I can comfortably do that and not worry about the financial side of it. But whenever you're talking about a financial thing,
true,
like
giving financial advice, right?
You deep into something way
you open yourself up. Good point. Good point. Good point.
That's
Mike, Mike had something to say. Mike, what'd you say?
Yeah, dashing trader. I was wondering, so do you spot trade or you do leverage trading, or do you do stocks or
leverage trader, leverage trading, intraday,
so like on crypto,
trading, leverage.
Okay.
Yeah, but unless you got multiple apps nowadays, it's going to be hard to do that shit full time. I'm sorry, you got to have to either, you got
the
to
way
level
the
up.
way I like to trade, I like to use the desktop application, so it's like more of like a more immersive interface than just using it on the app on your phone. Not to say that you can't do it with apps on your phone, you most definitely can, but I like to more similar to like how you use YouTube Studio on your phone, right? But if you use YouTube Studio on your computer, you got
Not
the
the same.
full version, you got everything. You got day trading apps for your phone, but I got the program that's like installed like a separate application on my computer to where you open it and it gives you access, direct access to the stock market, which is slightly different from opening up like a Robinhood account on your phone. You still get access to the market, but through that computer interface, it's totally different.
Yeah, it's not the same. You can do even visually
Okay.
how you look at it, how you can look at the trends and the graphs
And the
change and the
charts,
timing of
yeah,
the charts. Yeah, it's not the same.
yeah. You got to be able to see the
Yeah,
volume and yeah.
what I use is Market Cipher. Do you use that by any chance? It's pretty good.
Market Cipher, I've never heard of that
Yeah.
one. Is that
Yeah,
relatively new?
it's been out for a while, but they have like a money flow chart. It shows you kind of like, so if the money flow chart's like looking in the green area and you got like this green dot at the bottom of the RSI and stuff, that kind of looks like a best time to be buying. You can kind of really predict kind of where the market goes, but I trade in the crypto markets, so that's what I use it for.
Okay,
So
I was just about to ask
if I'm
you trading
trading,
crypto.
yeah, so I do leverage
What
trading as
index?
well.
What
But,
index you trading on?
I use multiple ones. So
Okay.
there's a Bittrex. That's a one for US people can trade on, and you can do like up to 100x leverage. So you can
Okay.
put like $1,000 in, and
Now
I
see,
wouldn't recommend it.
I ain't never
Yeah.
traded no Bitcoin. I ain't never
Uh-huh.
traded no crypto at all. No Bitcoin or
Yeah, well,
nothing.
if you like
No, no
those 50,
kidding. Oh wow. Okay.
60% trades, like, it's decent money. Like I'm gonna trade right now. I'm up $4,200. I only put about $1,000 in,
I
so
tell you what, Mike, you can shoot me an email. We can talk some more about some crypto trading, man. I got you.
that's fair. That's fair.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, because
No
I was just wondering
problem.
because you was talking about earlier about the whole like the DoorDash and all the Spark and all that stuff. And again, like to keep repeating
Look,
myself.
DoorDash stock. Look, DoorDash might be paying us $2 in base pay for 2 stack deliveries, but I tell you what, they stock price is at almost $250 if I'm
Oh,
not
bro, I'm
mistaken.
telling
Yep.
you,
And it
yeah,
was at
man.
171 like last year, not too long ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been following it. And I hate to say it, but it's gonna keep going up because they partner with grocery stores. It ain't
Yep.
just
Yep.
about food delivery. They delivering mattresses. What Pedro said a year ago, you're gonna be delivering babies.
Babies. I'm
Yes,
telling you.
sir.
Oh, bro.
$2 for a baby.
$2,
Straight
I'll
to
deliver
your
your baby.
door.
I'll be honest. While you on the panel right now,
and,
my
the
my
dasher
boss
gonna
do
have
it.
to scan his face before he deliver the baby.
Yeah, my boss do it. He be showing me his little stocks. He's like, man, I made like $4,000, and I saw you on here one day, and I was like, you know what? I said, I thought about that shit too. I was like, somebody knew how to do that day trading shit, and I remember you did it, and
I'm
I
gonna
like so
start
you talk about
showing
it
some
now.
shit on my channel. I'm gonna start
Yeah,
because
I was
like
like, bro,
the market opens up at 8:30 in the morning, man. Gig workers still be sleep at 8:30 in the morning.
8:30.
yeah,
I
but
thought
you're
it
right
opened up at
though.
like 5 or something. I thought it was
I
early.
mean, it's pre-trading. It's
Oh, okay.
pre-market trading before the official bell ring.
Oh,
You got
got
the
it.
stock
Got it.
market bell. The bell rings at 8:30, but it is some pre-market trading. Like you can have software that allows you to trade before the market officially
Yeah,
opens or 24-hour trading, but
that's
the,
wild.
Nah,
the,
Crypto's
the sweet
24
spot is
hours, so
8:30.
you can do that
yeah.
too.
8:30 in the morning. That's when that bell
I'm
rings. That's
I'm
when all the
sure you thought about it, bro. But that might be another lucrative channel because I ain't gonna lie to you. If you had not charging for it, but if you had like some type of a little 20-minute little video just kind of showing the basics of it, I think that'd be another interesting. I'm really interested. I don't know anybody that do it though. I was like
I
that day
mean, look,
trading,
like
like this is a
look,
tutorial.
you can find day trading people
Oh,
on YouTube. Don't
there's
get me wrong.
millions of channels on that on YouTube.
You
There's
can
a lot
find
of
some
people
day
that talk
trading
about it.
people. That
And
ain't
you
Okay.
nothing.
know,
I got to get
that's
going.
like
It was fun.
All right, bro. All right,
Thanks,
bro.
Roy.
good
Appreciate
night,
it.
Roy.
Trader, good luck.
Later, boy. See
Good luck
ya.
on the future.
Appreciate you.
Marcus, don't
I,
you showed your face. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, right.
Later, man.
Put a shirt on. Yeah, I want to see all that.
Whatever. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, bro. Take it, bro.
Later.
All right, Junebug, I think you had something you want to say there.
I was just gonna say apps like Robinhood and Acorns and stuff. They're a good place for people to start if you're just trying to figure it out. And also, just having those accounts, like you're probably going to get higher yields if you're looking at just investing small to get started. You're probably going to get higher yields than, say, a savings account through those apps that let you do a broader portfolio through the app.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
would
why I
say
mentioned it. Sorry, bro. My bad.
investing is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, just get a feel for it. But the market's really volatile right now, so
Oh, I
I
love
don't
it.
know.
Well, that's something that I just been looking at myself like, because like Pedro always says too, we're so, I don't say everybody, but a lot of us are so conditioned to just one thing that I start telling myself, and like what Trader's saying with no deactivation, especially now they making all these new rules and terms and conditions. And I'm thankful to go back to my W-2, but I also start saying to myself, I got to think bigger than this. I can't just live my life DoorDash, pizza. It's like there's got to be more. So like you were saying earlier, what is the next step? Because at any point in time, my boss now, he can mess with, because I work for a family owned pizza spot. I don't work for like a Papa John's or like a Domino's. Like my pizza job is one guy. He might come to work one day and say, you know what? I'm through pizza. I want to go into burgers now, and I'll be screwed. So like you were saying, Pedro, like we got to start thinking bigger than just
Yes.
pick up, drop off. Like there's so
Yes.
much more that we can do than chicken nuggets, you know?
There is, man. I believe, and I haven't, even myself personally, I haven't tapped into that personally for myself yet, as far as looking at all the options. There's so many ways to make money with your phone right now, and people are
Mm-hmm.
doing it. And I think it can be
That's true.
scary because we get comfortable in the food delivery. It's pretty,
Right. Yep.
it's very easy. There's a lot of apps, so I get deactivated. Let me just get another app. But there are a lot of other means to doing it, and it might take several months. It could take a year before you really start seeing the fruits of the labor. But I would really challenge people to look outside the box a little bit and be willing to get a little uncomfortable, because I believe that's where the true money is. We can make a living and support our families doing this, but you're not going to. Most of us that do this aren't putting into any kind of retirement, no savings, no this, no that.
Right.
Most of us are
That is
one
true.
car. Most of us are one car repair away from being in a really bad spot. A lot of drivers are. So we have to figure out, okay, yeah, it's great to make 1,000 a week, 1,500 a week if you're full time, whatever that is, right? But like, there are people out there that make that in a couple days from home, right? So that's the level I want to see some of us get to, because that's where you can really provide and have a more sense of like stability long term.
That's
Because then you can pay
facts.
your bills, but then have money to invest or have money just to
Yeah.
save, put something that you're getting interest on. Because I mean, I'll be 44 this year. I don't want to work when I'm 70, right? So like,
Right.
we have to be figuring
Right.
things out right now to make when you're 70 a little bit easier.
That's true.
Well, that's one thing too, not to cut nobody else, so I apologize for over talking to anybody. But like that's one thing that I respect with, especially you with a trader or whatever, because like
Bobby.
y'all have other means of income, even just YouTube. Because like Trader said, you don't you being deactivated from Spark don't mean your YouTube channel just goes up in smoke. Like I say, YouTube, you got so many other ventures you can do.
Yeah.
And I start saying to myself, I'm like even with you, Paige, we talk offline, and I be saying it to myself too. I'm like, I got to start thinking bigger than this. I'm like, we're such a microwavable, like say $1,000 a week, $1,000 a week. Okay, that's cool. But as things are changing, like you were saying, it takes one bad customer,
Yeah.
one accident, anything. 'Cause like you said, I was the same thing Trader did. Like, wasn't no fraudulent behavior, wasn't no me lying. Like, well, I couldn't get my own account. It wasn't like, I just couldn't get a Spark account of my own. And I did the same thing he did. And that's why I came up here, because our stories are so relatable. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And, people always think is you got to be like, no, bro, like at any point in time, you get deactivated. So yeah, I'm really trying to venture out. And like you say, one thing that I have to get my mindset, there's more to delivery than just food. That's the one thing I keep saying to myself. Like
Yes.
you said,
Yes.
Pedro, you ain't
Yeah.
got to just deliver chicken nuggets every day, bro. You can deliver auto parts, you can deliver medical supplies. Like we're so stuck in that. If it ain't DoorDash, like no, bro. Like if
Because
DoorDash
Marcus,
stops tomorrow,
because it's easy.
yeah,
It's easy to do it, and they make it easy
mm-hmm,
for us to get on most of the time, and it's just what we know, and we get comfortable. And there's nothing
yep,
wrong with being comfortable, like, but at the end of the day, like, it will not last forever for most of us, you know. It's
Oh yeah.
not that sustainable long term. We just have to be willing to think a little bit more outside the box, and myself included.
That's
You know,
true.
I'm very grateful to
Yeah.
have other things, but like I took a chance. I left my job. It's like I'm gonna do this YouTube thing for 1 year. I'm gonna see what happens. That took a chance, and it worked out. So I just want to see more of us take a chance that's calculated, and you might be putting yourself in a better situation, you know, months or years down the line. And for me, it's worked out, and I try to show that because if I didn't do that, I'd still be at the casino or I'd be doing this, and life would be okay. But I want to just I don't want to just work all the time and not have a life. I want to have a balance. And in order to have a balance for me, and I believe this can be true for a lot of people, you got to have some passive income coming in. And I think that that's been a game changer for me. And I know Trader and I have talked off the screen about that, and that's really been good for him too. And I want, you know,
Absolutely.
that doesn't mean YouTube. It could mean a hundred other things, right?
Yep.
And I think that's where I want some of us to go because I've seen the fruits of that labor. I really have. So
And that's why I really wanted to open up to the community and let everybody know, like, look, it's okay to go back to a W-2. It's not the end of the world. You know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and that don't mean that it gotta be forever. If you really gung ho about not working W-2, it don't gotta be forever. But that don't mean that it gotta be the worst thing in the world. You
Well,
know,
I mean,
while the gig economy ain't what it used to be, you can still work part-time in the gig economy because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I believe that's the best way to work it. If you got some other type of income coming in besides just relying on gig work money, you're gonna be better off. It
so
ain't
I
never
have a
been no
thing.
different from that, and it's the same thing right now.
So what I do is I have a W-2 and I also do the food delivery. I also have a cargo van. I do deliveries in that as well. I did some tires today and I delivered a statue thing today. I have a
That tire
contract
delivery, I
with
bet that's lucrative.
So tires,
it's
yeah,
You
not
I
got some,
bet.
bad.
you do tire delivery.
Yeah, I did like today it was 5 tires. I got paid $120 to drive 5 miles.
Sir.
oh, that's great.
That's good
So
money. That's good money.
Yeah.
That
and
tire delivery pay good money.
right. But I have a W-2, I do security. So I do a late night security part-time. It's like $20 an hour, but they don't care what I do as long as I just watch the cameras. So I bring in my laptop there and I trade on the market while I'm at work, and that's my extra income too. Because the crypto market's 24 hours. I'm like, China's up right now, they're trading, so I kind of get on their field right there. And I'm like, all right, watch the cameras, have a trade going, making $20 an hour.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
that's not bad, for the night. But yeah,
Hmm.
I strongly believe if you're doing all this stuff, yeah, I mean, find a W-2 that you want to do that you can do, no problem. And then, yeah, just if you are still interested in doing deliveries, yeah, do that part-time. But yeah, doing full-time, yeah, it's just gonna be too hard. You're gonna be working so many hours and just, I just
And you
think
know
of,
what? I think it's just in my best interest to go ahead and bite the bullet and use because like at the end of the day, you work the morning shift, maybe the lunch shift and the dinner shift. And
yeah.
either you get lucky and get a lot of good, decent orders, or you don't. And
Mhm.
outside of that, you got your other apps like your Roadie, your Instacart,
You're
and
right.
maybe some extracurricular pickups. But other than that, I would rather have that stability because if I'm not relying on Spark like how it was, I'd rather just have something concrete and I can still build my channel on the side. But
Yep.
if I didn't have my channel, it wouldn't even be a thought. It would just be go back to a W-2 because I know that the amount of money I was making with Spark, I can't rely on that with the other apps. And that's just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Without putting crazy miles on my
Crazy.
car or something.
Right.
I
Well, like I say
get
earlier, bro, the more of the story, man, check ego. That's one thing. And like I say, we're fathers.
appreciate you, Roy.
Like I say, just check ego, bro. That's what I had to do because, like I said earlier, bro, it took every bit of me, Pedro Trader, everybody. It took every bit of me. I tell you, I'll be very transparent. My wife told me I was struggling. I was sitting parking lots 5, 6 hours. Yeah, she like Marcus. She was like, call your job and just go back. I said, hell no. I'm like, I ain't going back. Like you said, I had that.
Yeah.
I'm be out you. I was very. And she was like, we was getting into fights because she'd be like, I can't do this. She was like, the money you were making, you're not making no more. She was like, these kids need shoes. These kids are getting bigger. And my ego was just so damn outrageous. I said, no, I left that place. I'm not going back to no W2. You can have that bullshit. I'm watching Apex, I'm watching Hustle CLE make $2,000 a week.
Yeah.
I said, no, we in the same market. I'm gonna do the same thing. And you know what? I didn't have the same drive, and I'll be honest, the same drive, the same ambition that he had. I had the ego, but I didn't have the work ethic. And it was like, dude, you have to be out here 12 hours. Like Marcus, drive. I didn't want to drive to East Cleveland. I ain't driving to Akron. Hustle, he be everywhere. But like I said,
he goes everywhere. Yeah,
he be everywhere. And like I said, I commend him for that. But like me and Trey was talking about that, I had to check my ego and say, you know what, Mark, if this ain't working, screw YouTube, screw what somebody think, screw what the hell what Pedro think you went back to your W2. Because I didn't want to admit that at first. I was still front like I was doing that. I'm like, no, you know what, bro? I called my boss. I said, hey man, you have me back? He's like, yeah, come on back. And like we talked about earlier, I had to check my ego. And I think that's a lot of the problem with a lot of gig workers. Like you said, people don't want to fuck. I'm the boss, bro. Your rent. I'm not gonna have my kids homeless because I want a boss.
That's right.
I ain't gonna be out here in the.
We need to not
Dang.
gloss over something because listen, we got to show some love to Miss Marcus because that's a good
For sure.
woman, man. That's
Oh,
a
dog,
good
she was on
woman.
me. She was on me, bro.
That can challenge you and say, hold up, let's think about this differently.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Marcus, and I've met
Appreciate
Miss
that.
Marcus. That's
Yeah,
a good
you have,
woman
yep.
right there, brother. That's a good
woman. I'll be honest, bro. She was on me. I had to check my ego.
good.
I had to put my family first because I didn't want to do it. I would see y'all here. You be chilling like 2:00. Yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm going home with Madison and my daughter. I'm like, I want that. I'm keeping that, but I wasn't having that look. So I check my ego. Yes, sir.
Well, I think it is that just it's hard for a lot of, the gig economy. Like they don't want to go back to W2 because they like the freedom. They can work kind of whenever they want. But in all reality, if we keep getting paid less and less, like you're going to have to at least do some of a W2 to kind of get some of that,
If
you're getting some money.
Your local minimum wage, it's like, what's the point?
Right.
Exactly.
For real. And you don't have any other additional streams of income coming in, you got to really take a hard look. Like, damn, if I'm making less than minimum wage and I'm using my whip and I'm paying for gas, I might have to make a decision at that point. For real.
Hell yeah.
That's how I would look at it.
Do your W2. Find something you would like to do, and then if you want to ease into it, just like, hey, get some part time and mix, DoorDash and all the apps together. And if you're still not doing it, yes, depending on your market, you're gonna have to go ahead and get W2. I got kids, so I know what it's like. So I'm doing whatever I can, to get that money to bring back, So I just kind of do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If it don't work out, fine. If everything goes to crap, I'm gonna get a W2. At the end of the day, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Hey, they got W2 driving jobs. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine. It's just everybody's different. So like maybe for you, maybe you can tolerate driving a school bus. Maybe there's a lack of that in your community and they're willing to put out a little bit more money and then you're just running that morning route. Then you're working whatever job for a few hours, then you're working the afternoon route. You still got the dinner rush you could do afterwards. And, every community is going to have its own niches and you're still part of the community, It's everybody got to give something, but make it work for you too. I couldn't drive a bus. There's no way. You put 30 kids, you put me responsible for 30 kids, you're only going to get half of them back.
See, it's the kids, exactly. The bus, I can do the bus. Yeah, the bus with kids, that's something else. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, bud. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Give me the bus, buy the kids, we good.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's, like.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen,
that's
I think this is a good kind of breaking point. I want to say thanks to Trader for spending a couple of hours with us, man.
Snaps! What time is it? I didn't even realize. Hold up.
It's
snaps.
11.
Okay.
It's 11. But I want to shout out Roy and Marcus, Mike.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
We had Finesse 314. It's June Buggins making her blanket. I think you said right. It's a blanket, right?
She made her debut appearance tonight,
Yeah,
bro.
I
This is
love it.
like
I'm so
this is like a super crazy. You don't even understand. I got to screenshot this. This is
Beautiful thing,
crazy.
man. Beautiful thing,
Aw.
right?
I
I got
love
to
it. I
screenshot
appreciate you
this.
guys showing love.
It's
Very
number one
happy to see
monitor.
Marcus tonight. I thought
What's
Tony
up,
was
bro?
trolling. I didn't even think it was really Marcus, but I'm glad
Oh
you
no,
came
you know
up
what, man?
and
I was sitting here, man, in my,
This is the
at
most
home, no
special
shirt
one
on.
it's good
Yeah, no,
though.
I had to. No, for
I
sure, man. Me and
appreciate
Trader.
I appreciate all the wisdom and Trader. I really like that
Hey,
you're you're sharing with the community that just because we take a L with a deactivation or this, it doesn't mean money's got to stop. It doesn't mean we don't provide as a man of the house, as a woman of the house, whatever your role
for
is in the
sure,
house. Like
absolutely.
I
That's
think
right.
that's fabulous. I think you're showing the people that watch your channel, my channel, you're showing them that like we could take a loss, but just be prepared for it and know that it's
That's
possibly
right.
coming and have a plan B, a plan C, and keep it moving because our kids, they're the innocent ones. You know, they're not the
That's
ones
right.
working the apps, but they're the ones we
That's
got to
right.
provide for. So I really love
That's
that
right.
message that you're sharing. It's really powerful.
No,
And
man, no problem.
yeah,
And look,
I
and
love that.
thank you again, as always, bro, for giving me the opportunity to come up here and have a good time and, shoot the shit with you and bring my people through. Listen, at the end of the day, like you said, it's all about helping the community, bro, because at the end of the day, like, regardless of what happened to me, like, it's more than just about me. I got a community of drivers that watch my channel and look for updates, look for things that's going on because it's not just me in this situation, it's a lot of us. So it's my responsibility to make sure that they get that information, when it happened, you know what I'm saying? So that it can
Yeah,
have an impact and help somebody because maybe that was the wake up. Like a lot of people said in the comments, like, look, this is the wake up call I needed. I'm gonna go ahead and get my stuff together because you know what? I ain't trying to just be caught off guard. And that's what it's
yeah,
about.
I
So,
love
I
that, man.
appreciate
Yeah,
you giving me the opportunity to come up here and further express upon that because that's really what it's all about, for real though.
absolutely. We'll talk offline. We got to get the kids together again. I know
Hell yeah, man.
we'll
We
chat it
don't we
up this
don't
week.
fucking, hit up the parking. Already know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
So
Pedro.
I
One last
appreciate
thing,
y'all.
though.
I'm gonna go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
Oh, one thing. No, I just want to say, Trader, man, like I say, I respect you for telling your story, man. Keep it 100 with you because it was refreshing to know that, like, even though we're in two separate areas, we all kind of go through similar things. Because it was really funny how you told me that story. I said, you know what? I see you gonna think I'm bullshitting. That's exactly how I got on. Exactly how that same story. So it's like it's cool to have these conversations because we're not so different. Like
I
we had these
appreciate that,
perceptions of each
Marcus,
other.
man.
Yeah, like people
Hey,
was dogging you, like, oh, Trader, you full of. No, I said I did the same thing. He ain't lying. He ain't fraudulent. Like I
it
had to
is
use
what
my
it
wife
is,
account.
man.
So no,
It
I
is what
respect
it
that, bro.
is.
We'll talk
But
for
hey, I
sure.
tell you what though, look, I'm happy to hear from you. It's good to see you again.
You too, brother.
And
Yeah, you too, brother.
I look forward to our future conversations. It's a panel, you know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
dog. For
We'll be
sure.
talking again, brother.
June Bud, Mike, saying to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
you
it. I'm gonna
too,
round the
man.
show out, guys. You guys can exit, and I appreciate y'all for giving the great content to the community and giving me your time tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
For sure. All
brother.
right,
I'll
Pedro,
see you
bro.
next
Thank
time.
Yes,
you for
sir.
having me.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Later.
All right, let's get. Oh shit, there it is. All right. Um, Great show tonight. Positive vibes. I mean, it feels good to bring some of these Sundays back in. After reaching out to Trader this week, we talked a little bit, and I'm really happy he was able to join the show and just share his story and be transparent and honest, and we can learn from it, or we could however we feel about it, but it's his truth. And I think a lot of people use other people's accounts, and these companies are looking these facial IDs and these the software that they're adding into it to make sure that that person that has the account is the person delivering. We're going to see a trend. It's happening. So take that information for what it's worth. If you're somebody doing that, it's going to catch up to you at some point. Just prepare yourself. You might got to go back to a W-2. You might have to lean on a different app. If you're a content creator and you're filming, if you're doing ride-alongs, if your favorite content creator is doing ride-alongs or showing things or doing videos and dropping off things at the door and showing an address or even not showing an address, if they're showing screenshots with addresses and things, they could get deactivated for that. Let them know that, hey, you might want to be careful and rethink how you do content because, nobody wants to it's a gut punch, right? Nobody likes it. It's not good to take away an opportunity from your arsenal and your phone. Um, Nobody wants that, you know. So these kind of things, us being transparent when it happens, you can agree or disagree. You can laugh that I got deactivated. You know, Trader got deactivated. He deserved it. Pedro, he shouldn't be doing that. Hey, you might not be wrong, but the reality is we're still, you know, we can talk about it and we can share the information so other people can understand what we do. You can follow that might be good to, or what we do that you don't want to follow, so you don't put yourself in that same position. Um, really enjoyed everybody's time, and I thought the live and the conversation was really good. I appreciate all the super chats, all the love, the thumbs up, the new people, any new subscribers, people I haven't seen in a while in the chat. Appreciate y'all very much. Got a busy day tomorrow. Got a couple of caterings already on the books, which is really great. One of them going to a really unique place, so I'm really excited about that. And then I'll be back on the grind tomorrow. And I probably will do a Sunday live next Sunday, but the following Sunday we will not have one that week. That's the plan right now. And whatever happens this week, whatever happens in the gig economy, whatever I see, whatever you guys want to talk about, those will be the topics for next week's show. And right now I keep on, the plan is to have an open panel and have new people or existing friends come up and share their opinions, and we talk about it in an open way. And I want you guys to have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy it. If you're out there, be safe. If you're home or wherever you're at, if you're with somebody that you love, please tell them that you love them and give them a hug, and have a great night and be safe.